All straight people like them too.
Can't believe you offended Daryl that way.
Yeah, if he was there. Oh, he's back.
You see his lower half.
He's back. Okay, where am I going? Okay.
It's one choppy motherfucker, that's all I can say.
Alrighty, we are live. It's episode 35. It's some World of Scale D&D action. And we just finished a major over 2-session fight at the docks in a wooden fort.
I hope it's over.
And unfortunately, one of our characters, Reginald, played by Daryl, was left behind in the Acariman slaver's ship. Whether he is dead or alive, nobody knows but Daryl and the Dungeon Master. And as the remainder of the group was attempting to flee, there was some issues with trying to move at night, and a series of unfortunate rolls led to our druid, the quote-unquote star of the battle with his use of spells, unfortunately stepped in a hole, snapped his ankle, and...
No, I knew I was taking the 37 and I never thought to do it. I never thought to do it. I was so wound up, I never thought to do it.
Well, that, you know, nobody's perfect, man, so...
You'll be it tonight.
So...
That was perfect. I mean, like I said, I was very into it and I didn't even think about that. So, yeah. I was lucky to be moving. I figured I'd have been dead by then.
So we have some characters in the woods who... We got Shadrach, who is unconscious. We have... Pick, you're conscious, but you're really hurt. No, you're unconscious because you were being carried. Is that right? Okay. And then COVID's doing the heavy lifting because he is the tank of this operation. So he was carrying, and then so it was just you three.
Tell Tom.
Oh, and Kettle Tom, who was
He didn't
up
move.
and awake and had luckily made his system shock roll when he was healed, so it allowed him to, in his weakened state, carry on.
Now we got the problem, we got 2 down and I can't carry 2.
Unfortunately, even that is too much weight for the great and powerful COVID.
Well, I don't want to move it 1 square. I could drag
I
one
would
to move
wanna
it 1
move
square,
1 square
and I'm
either.
not ready to move it 1 square to hell. Something will be on us by
And
then.
to make matters worse, though it was it's speculation, but a horn sounded from the wooden fort. And the remaining members of the occupying force of the fort, or whatever you want to call these individuals, they back into the fort through this side gate, and there was laughter heard from the inside, as if somehow the something was going to happen that they found amusing. And COVID made the comment of they've summoned the creature, or they've called the creature. So that sort of puts a little urgency in their next decisions. So unfortunately, they went into this plan hoping to free slaves, and
We gave him an extra.
there's
Killed a lot of them.
there was just the forces that were described earlier that did a fair share of damage to the group that was trying to rescue people. The Well, I just looked up something on YouTube. They're the light ballista, but they've got a name, and they demonstrated them being fired. It's like the bolts, the bolts are like 3 foot long, like this yardstick I'm holding, and
was my drawing accurate?
it's like a 1,600-pound force that these things can fling with the cranks and everything. So it's made me feel pretty good to know that somebody had a video on that looked like exactly what I was envisioning. So they did some big time damage, especially like one time he got hit by like 3 or 4 right in a row. Go. Again, the ones that were on the ship were used against Pichel Ditch and killed him. So, there's they're just a tool, but they were used to great effectiveness. So
we did some damage.
Yeah, way more of them died than you guys. So it's not like it was. I think it was more like a push, like you did damage. Now you're kind of like in hostile territory, and it's like you guys went and. But then the hornet's nest broke open, and the hornets were like, and you're like, yeah! So.
Yeah. It was a bold move.
You killed the queen, but there's still all these angry hornets buzzing around. So, can you jump in the lake fast enough before the hornets sting you to death? So that's why these individuals are over here. They're fleeing, and then they were trying to move back toward the beach.
I forgot we left
And,
the horses on the beach.
That's when the snappage occurred. So, unless anyone has any additions, edits, corrections, or anything they'd like to add on to the recap, we can begin with...
No.
No.
I have something I want to say
Go ahead.
when we start.
Oh, okay. Well, then hearing no... I'll put on some background music or sounds, and please, COVID, proceed.
Kettle Tom, you stay here with Shadrick, so I can find you again. I'm going to take Pick out to the horse. I'll make my way back in here to you guys, and I'll carry him out. Okay, so just try to stay under cover if something comes. Be quiet.
Okay.
I make a bird whistle sound. It don't have to be realistic. It just has to be something that said when I make that sound, that's me calling you. Maybe just give me some sort of answer so I know which direction to go in case I can't find you again. Okay.
Okay.
And I make the whistle sound, whatever.
I'm sorry, what sound do you make?
I just do like a.
You wouldn't happen to have like
No, it doesn't matter if it sounds like one or not. It's just something that he'll recognize.
I was just wondering.
No, I don't.
Oh.
I just what I'm saying. It doesn't sound like a bird. It's a birdish kind of.
So you're like,
whistle.
woo!
Well,
Like that?
something like that.
All right.
Obviously, it doesn't sound exactly like a bird, but it's something that I wanted him to hear it. So if he knows that's me trying to find him.
Sure.
Stay here. Stay calm. Keep him while he's out. I pick back up and start heading straight that direction again towards the what has to be the beach eventually, and then I will look for the horses, which should be actually further to my left once I hit the beach. Because we didn't divert that much, so if I go straight to the beach, I still got to go that direction. That's my plan. Now I'm moving carefully, not to cause any damage to Pick or myself, but like I got information to be able to move through the woods at a normal pace, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's what I do.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, my rate's reduced to 12 because I have Pick.
Okay.
So it's not regularly, but...
Okie dokie. Okay. 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 So, roll for 7.
57.
57.
Right down the middle.
Okay. So, you move, as you'd said, you think you are going in the direction that you think go.
I hopefully can hear the waves, because we, like I said, we didn't travel that much up the what I thought was a path, which isn't a path. We didn't travel that far up it before we all started heading back towards the beach before he stepped at all. Remember, we were.
Yeah,
I don't know
I've
how
taken
far
all
we
this
were.
into account.
You
rolled,
yeah.
so much to add. So you are traveling and you start to look around and you're looking up and you're not exactly sure which way.
Well, the moon was out. So as
Sure
long
is.
as I keep the moon in that position, I know I'm not.
I've already figured everything into the rolls. It's
Well, how can that?
it's not your job to after the fact.
Okay. All right.
Okay. And as you begin to get frustrated, your elven ears pick up the sound of what appears to be the ocean.
Oh.
You think to yourself, that could have been if you would have gotten lost in these heavy forests without being able to find trails or landmarks that you recognize. Even an elf can get lost in the woods unless he has no place to go. You, however, have a specific place you want to go. And as luck would have it, you find it.
So I hit the beach, make a left, and start heading until I get to our horse, where we left our horse.
All right. I would like you to roll a D12, please.
About 6.
All right. A short time later, you find some horses. They certainly appear to be yours.
I
found my little horses.
picked down in the just in the brush up from the beach, which is where the horses are. They're not like out on the beach. And I go back, follow my tracks back on the beach to where I came out of the woods, and then making sure I note where the moon's position is. I keep it in that fixed position, and I start going straight back in that direction. And I also try to look for my, Louis, I wanted to ask you this, Scott. I was thinking about this when we were off. You know how a lot of places, depending on where you're at in the foresty area near a beach or near an ocean, sometimes you've got a lot of growth, but it's still sand. As you know, because sometimes it just sand washes up or whatever causes it. There's a lot of, it's not just dirt. Is it like regular dirt here, or is it up in the wooded area, or is it like how it's sand with a lot of growth in some places that you see? I was curious to know which one.
There's a mixture, so it's not.
It's something that footprints are usually made in. Would you say that? At least enough to follow, perhaps, without having the ability.
Maybe.
Well, I'm also looking for
Maybe.
marks I made and heading as straight in that direction as I can, keeping the moon in a fixed position to my movement. And when I get the approximate distance I thought I had traveled from the two I left behind to the beach, then if I don't see them at some distance, because in my 60 feet infravision, then I'll give that whistle again, and I'll listen to see if I hear anything.
Okay. Do you have tracking?
No, I don't. That's
Okay.
why I'm just using the common sense thing.
Okay.
If I had tracking, it'd be a whole different story.
Roll a d20.
17.
17. Okay.
Probably.
Roll percentile.
77.
All right. You start making your way back, and it's not easy. You weren't trained as a scout for the legions. That was never your forte. Your job was to be in the front lines and display your prowess and break through shield walls and all those sorts of things. And though there are times when you think that you might be lost in the woods again, and you're listening for any kind of dangerous thing that could approach or whatever. There's all kinds of nighttime ambiance, and you're making noise, and it kind of
Not trying to be silent.
so, that's an unfortunate part of the protection that you carry.
Yep.
But miraculously, you do see off on your left. So like as you were going back, if you wouldn't have happened to glance just at the right time, you wouldn't have seen those guys just at the edge, just at the absolute edge of your infravision. And you see them.
Can I say something that's completely un-game related I just thought of? I wanted to say
Absolutely.
to everybody.
Go ahead.
You know how we had a couple houses locally here burned down here in Chesterfield from people that put their fireworks in their bags or trash in the garage.
I did not hear anything, but I'm listening.
Well, I've never seen it, or it never occurred to me that there's still a burning ember or something in them, and they can ignite, especially those big cakes you fire off. Well, we had a tremendous amount of fireworks fired off the property, and that all quit about 10:30, and everybody started going home. And I mean, we had like 300 people there. So,
Sunday?
Yeah, Sunday, 4th of July. What did I say? Something different?
No, I just was wondering.
And
Is this my cookie?
so there was only so much. There's only so much, trash can room. So they said they left all the trash in a great big pile out on the field, because they put it all together, but they couldn't, it's just a great big pile. I said I'll take care of it the next day when I get trash. So at 1:45, I'm closing up, shutting the lights off and everything else. And
This can't be good.
And there's one other person with me, and we're shutting lights off, and I'm like, is that somebody over in the ball? To us, I'm like, what the hell is that? Drive out there. One of those cakes in the center of that pile, or near the center of that pile, had finally, the embers grew up and started a flame on the cake. The cake started to be on fire. That was the flame I seen out there. And so I pulled it out so it didn't burn the whole pile down, but it took an hour and a half for that sumbitch to ignite. But it ignited, and that's what these people are losing houses for, and they put that shit in their trash, put it in the garage till the next day. It's like, wow, I've never had that happen, and then we've never had that happen at the property ever before. So that was kind of odd too. But yeah, that was good.
We always hose down the yard. We would like put the sprinkler on and sprinkle the yard when we were done. That was a general thing. We always put water on the stuff. Yeah. I mean, in the Missouri, come on, and leaves are dry.
Well, we got our leaves aren't. And luckily, we had a wet week prior, pretty much. But anyway, okay, I moved then over to them. I give the whistle anyway, just so he knows it's me as I approach, because they don't have sight. And I move in. I says, "Everything's still all right?" A couple times.
Everything's quiet.
Okay. Well, let's. I found the horses. I got to pick up the horses. So let's try to move out. You hold on to the back of my cloak, cape, whatever the thing is. You hang on to that and follow me out. We're gonna move at a steady rate, just nothing fast.
He says go slow.
Yeah. So I pick
All
up
right.
I pick up Shadrach, put him on my. I hold him, however, it's best to hold him with his wounds, and move. Move towards. I do the same thing I did with Pick. I head the same direction and everything I said before to try and get to the beach. I know it's not where the horses are, so I'm going back the same direction I went the first time, and then I'll make a left back to the horses. That's my plan.
Okay.
And again, my rate would be 12.
Roll persona.
Double 0, 9
That's
would
100.
be 9, right? Double 0, 9 would be 9, right? Double 0 and 9 would be 9.
Yes.
9.
Okay. All right. Roll a 20.
13.
Okay. So, you start heading back in the direction you think is the correct direction. And it's funny, you look up at the moon, because in your mind, as you described,
Unless it's...
you start to notice that as you look up, occasionally through the canopy of this heavy forest, you see the moon in the same place no matter which direction you go, and you think, huh, how do they do that? And then you start to move and walk, and this time, after like 10 minutes, you don't know where you are.
Don't hear nothing yet either.
You're not sure what direction you're going.
I understand.
And Kettle Tom's like, I don't mean to sound
So
mean,
I
but
feel I should
it
have been to
seems
the
like-
beach by now,
it
right?
seems like we've been walking a long
I
time.
should have been to the beach by now, as I was before.
You can only guess that that's the way it feels.
Yes, something's wrong. I can't track in the woods, and I can see very well, but I'm having trouble getting and heading the correct direction.
Daryl, did you get the message I sent?
I just got it, yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to head the correct direction, or what I think is the correct direction from here again. I mean, that's all I can do, right?
Well, I mean, that's up to you if you...
That's what I'm just saying. That's all I can do. I don't have any way to enhance that.
Unless you
Kevin
have-
Tom, you don't have any way of, I know you can't see, but other than the moon being up there, do you have any idea perhaps which direction the ocean is? I can't even hear it. I know we were only a couple hundred feet away originally, but
Kettle Tom, roll a d20. He holds still. Just as like the sound of the forest. Just the ambient sound. If you've ever been in a forest at night, it has its own
Yep.
rhythms.
Yep.
And even in the wintertime, there's like a sound.
yep, quiet though, but yeah.
And he's like, I don't hear anything. I'm sorry.
Obviously this is not the direction, so then I change course. I mean, the distance I've walked, it's also not back towards the fort, because we would have reached it or hear it by now if we went that direction this far. So it's got to be that way or that way or that way. So I am going to turn around and go back to the point where I think we left. And once we get to that point, then I'm going to try and again move in the proper direction. What I think is the proper direction.
Roll a d10.
Four.
Okay. You continue to walk, Tell Tom following behind as best he can. Pick. Do you remember any specifics about your medical condition? Would you please refresh my memory?
My hit point total?
No, we would assume that if you're unconscious, that you're looking real hurt.
My bleeding was stopped.
Okay, so you're not currently bleeding out.
I'm not currently bleeding.
Are you suffering from any lingering effects?
Not that I'm aware of.
All right.
But I know I'm this many away from my constitution.
You did tell me I stabilized it.
Correct. Okay.
I would like to add something if I may.
Sure.
Since I'm carrying Shadrach the same way I was before. Well, no, Shadrach was normal. All right, so I've got him shield. He's over this arm because it's his ankle. So I've got him. That's how I'm carrying him. So with my right, I've got my sword out now, and I'm gonna purposely chop branches, green life, sizable limbs as we're walking in a straight line to try and leave some sort of a. This is where I was before. If I stumble back across it, at least I know I was here. Does that make sense to you?
It does. Roll me a d8.
A 1.
All right. So, you are doing exactly as you said. Now I need you to roll me a d10.
Surprise. 8.
All right. You're chopping, and you're carrying, and you're doing a lot of stuff. And as you chop, your sword comes down on a branch, and it hacks it. And about 40 feet, you look straight ahead, and you see that creature that was at the font, the one that came out of the font and pushed down Shadrach and then was chased off.
I immediately stop. I tell Tom in a low, don't act out or do anything. That creature we've seen before is up in front of us. I'm going to attempt to talk to it. Perhaps you could as well.
He says, I can barely see anything.
I understand. Just trust me, it's in front of us.
Okay.
So I put my sword away. First things first, I sheath my sword. I pulled my hand up in the air like this.
Hold on.
I'm holding it up. As a matter of fact, I lay Shadrach's body down on the ground in front of me, and I get down on my knees, and
as you're doing that, the creature turns a little bit from the 8 squares away, and when you do, you can see that along its ridges now that it's turned sideways, where before it was facing you, now it's sort of turned. You see these orange greenish points on its body
glowing?
that are kind of illuminating it up as if it was decorated by LED lights. And it's you can make of that what you will. And they seem to be pulsing red and orange to green to red to orange.
And we didn't notice that the first time we encountered the creature?
Nope.
No, I don't know if it's being controlled. I stopped. I don't say anything. We just stopped. Like I said, I kneeled
Put
down.
Shadrach down.
I put him down in front of me, and I kneeled down behind him. I have both hands, my shield open, so I have one hand in there, I have this hand there, and I just watch it and see what happens.
Okay.
I'm assuming it's going to approach, but it'll keep going.
It the biophosphorescent interactions on its body seem to pick up speed, and you see the thing turn to where you don't see the lights anymore, and it appears like it's taking off after you.
Okay.
Actions.
I'm not doing anything.
You're not doing anything.
I mean, I'm doing what I told you I'm doing. I'm going to, I'm hoping the hell it ain't coming to attack me, or it won't attack me at the last minute. I'm staying on my knees because we had this encounter before. Kettle Tom had a feeling about it. I had a feeling about it. I'm hoping our feelings are right.
Do you remember what happened at the last encounter?
I remember the guy that beat it up ain't with us right now. I remember that much. So I'm hoping that it's not an issue, and I'm just hands in the air, and I just kind of brace for an impact and hope it's not going to be bad. And as it gets close enough where I can speak to it, I don't know if it can hear me this many squares away clearly, but it gets half the distance, I say, please, we seek your help.
All right.
And
So your action is, like we said, nothing.
Talk.
Or parlay?
Yes, talk, parlay.
All right.
Yes,
Roll
sir.
initiative, please.
I'd like to remind you, Kyle, that I didn't call his name in that encounter when he ran away.
All
If he
right.
remembers that.
So you do as you describe on your turn, on fast.
We got 7.
Yep. It moves up and it proceeds to let's see. Shadrach? No. Yeah, why not? Shadrach, make me a charisma check at disadvantage.
$21 is my low.
21, huh? Wow. Okay. All right.
It's my critical plus the D20, right?
Correct.
Okay.
All right. The creature. At disadvantage, you made it. Okay. The creature, on its turn, scoops up Shadrach.
I let it.
Next round, actions. Kettle Tom's like, what's going on?
It's taking Shadrach. I think I don't think it means him any harm. It didn't attack us, so let's not provoke it.
You have an action?
Continuing to try to parlay it.
Okay. Well, what did you say last time?
Can you show us to the beach? The water, the wave motion with my hand and point.
Can you read that? Okay. That's your current HP, right?
No, my current HP would be now.
Okay. Make a system shock roll, please. That's on your constitution.
Oh, my constitution?
And it's percentile.
Yeah, all right. 20.
Yeah, that's gotta be. Okay.
I know what I was told about the good berries, but nonetheless, I pull one out and I.
Okay, hold on now. We're on the next. You did that action.
Okay.
Now it's the next round. Your action is
Continue to
parlay.
Yes.
Okay. Roll initiative.
Oh, excuse me.
9.
That would be it. 4. That's my
Okay.
mistake.
All right. Okay. So you can try to talk to it again.
I and then I even do this. I bow my head like this, you know.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember, Cobb, back in the cave, I had help putting it in, but I was trying to put in, it was some rations and a good berry I put into a, I don't remember if I put it in something or not, but I left that behind for the creature and I went back and found that. So I'm trying to think of the scent, the smell, if that was left for me, here's another scent and me doing it again. That's my thought.
All right. Roll a d20.
An 18, yep.
Okay. All right. The creature seems to like. You're not sure because you don't actually see like eyes moving, but the whole like body and head kind of swivel. Take off the opposite direction. Would you?
Now, go carefully in the woods. I'm not, which is, well, I take it back. I've got Kettle Tom behind me, so I'm going to move at Kettle Tom speed, following. But I do not wish to overtake it if for some reason I'm faster.
Okay, so by the time it takes its turn, it's out of view. At the end of the round, you go after it with a half move.
Just follow, not go after, follow.
And half for you is 8, I'm guessing?
Yes.
Okay, so you can get to there and it's...
Well, no, I said I got to move at Kettle Tom speed because he's hanging on to the back of me. So whatever, he's not going to be my speed, right? So I'm moving at his speed.
You would assume not. So you
So
want
I'm
him
moving-
to, you want him to go with you?
Yes.
Okay, so he says,
Come on, we must follow it. Or try.
he says it's either that or try to find a way out of the forest.
Well, I'm trying to head. Following it's the best thing I can do to get us out of the forest right now. I mean, I don't know where we are. I mean, if you want, we can wait and I can. We were heading back this direction anyway, and to try and go back where we were so that I can try to again find the beach. I don't even know if we're heading the correct direction to go back where we were, but
Make a charisma check.
an 18, so 29.
29. Okay, so he's like,
We're probably going to lose it anyway.
if I don't feel good about moving in. I think we should just hunker down, and I don't feel comfortable moving in the darkness anymore. Now we're, and Shadrach's here.
Shadrach's gone. The creature took it.
I mean, see, I can't even think right. I don't want to go after this creature in the darkness. I think that's I'm not going to do that.
That's fine.
If you feel like you want to go after
No,
it,
that's
obviously,
fine. I'm not going to leave you here.
you can.
Let's again try to, let me try to get my bearings again and try to find the beach so we can get back to pick.
Okay, we switch scenes. Pick.
Hey, just real quick, I take that good berry and pop it in my mouth. I need it.
Okay. And that good berry, if I remember correctly, provides a hit point, and now you feel like you're nourished.
Nourished, right. Which I can do that too.
Okay, we switch scenes. Pick. You hear the sounds of the ocean. And though you haven't spent any or much time near the ocean or on the ocean, you know what it sounds like because you live in a port town. And there have been times when it has been quiet and you have had to go to the docks for something, pick up something, to not pick up something, but then pick it up anyway. You see no evil, but you steal the shit out of it, whatever it is that you were doing. And the last thing you remember is, getting walloped on the deck of the ship. And as your eyes open and using your elven eyes, you see a horrific sight bent over you. A large round face with these pig horse teeth and a flat wide nose and big eyes, and it's just like looking right at you as it's holding its hands up like this. What do you do?
Nothing. Frozen in fear.
All right. Daryl, you're up.
Are you okay? Are you with me, Dick?
Yes.
It's Vanessa leaning over you.
Where am I?
You're in the woods by the horses.
I was just
Where are the others?
We were on a ship fighting. How did I get here?
I saw that from the cliff. I'm not sure. I followed your trail.
Where's Reginald and COVID and Shadrach?
I haven't seen anyone else. You were here with the horses. Calm down. Let's think. Are you hurt?
Yes.
I mean, I see that you're hurt, and I've just revived you, but I'm asking if you have any major wounds, if you still look very, very hurt.
I look damn near dead.
My arm's missing.
I'm gonna place my hands on your largest wound where your
That's what she said.
arm got slashed open and raise my hands to the heavens. Holy Father, reward this man's bravery. Allow his wounds to heal. And I cast Cure Wounds.
Which one?
Moderate. For 4 points.
You gain 4 points of healing from Sister Vanessa.
Thank you. How did you get here?
Followed your group since you bastards wouldn't invite me. Good thing I did. Now where's everybody else? Think for a minute. Calm down, relax, and think.
The last thing I knew, I was on the ship, I was cranking the ballista to arm it, to fire it, and that's the last thing I remember.
You were badly wounded. It looked like you got hit by one of those ballista.
I know. We were being attacked by them, people out of the water, people coming out of the ship. They were everywhere. It was like standing at an anthill and watching them just crawl out from everywhere.
Oh my goodness. I was on the cliff and I heard commotion at the port and I saw a mist rise at the dock and I started heading this way.
Shadrach killed 20 by himself with spells.
Oh, is he okay? You don't know.
I don't know.
Well, how did you must have got here somehow? Someone must have brought you.
I don't know.
Can you track? It's dark though. I mean, I can see, but
No.
I wonder. How close to the fort? Ah, you don't know. Well, maybe you do. Did you leave the horses here?
Yes, we left the horses
How close
here.
to the fort are we?
Well, all I know is we're gonna go down to the ocean here and go right, and it goes right down there to the fort. I don't remember how far it is though. And I don't know how I got back here.
You should probably stay quiet. I don't hear anything coming from the fort.
Well, that's not the only thing you need to worry about. There's a beast in here, the woods here too. But I get a vibe that it's not evil.
We could try to move further away. I know you're injured though. You probably could use some rest.
I could use rest, and I think we need to find the others, but I don't think galloping through the woods is going to help anything.
Do you want to walk out to the beach and look? Can we see the beach from here, Cobb?
No,
Can we hear it from here?
just barely.
Yeah, I'm no good at directions. I mean, I don't know where I'm at. I can see, and we can probably move away, but I don't want to go down to the fort.
No, we don't need to go down to the fort. They got ballista.
I could create some light, but we don't know if any of your party is nearby to see it. And I don't want to alert anybody at the fort of our location.
Well, they got ballista all on top of it. They got 4 different ones on top of the keep. And I don't know the range of them. I know they were firing us out on the ship. We were on the ship.
Oh man.
And there's prisoners on the ship. And we're going to try to release them. And the next thing I know is there's guys, slavers on the ship, slavers running out of the castle, slavers on top of the castle, a guy walking through the water at us that was twice my size, and it was mayhem. It's just, they were, like I said, they were just crawling everywhere. They're coming up out of the ship and out of the castle and out of the water. The only thing they weren't doing was dropping from the sky.
Oh my goodness. You're lucky to have survived. I mean, you took a hell of a beating.
Well, I don't know how I got here. And I'm sure if my friends, well, you know them, I don't think they would just bring me here and drop me in the woods and go anywhere. Well, I know they wouldn't. Their horses are still here. So I don't know.
Everybody's stuff is here.
I don't know if the creature dragged me up here in the woods. I don't know if they brought me to the woods. I don't know if the slaver just dumped me out here in the woods. I don't know.
Mayhem, yes.
I don't know.
All I think we should wait here. Let's just calm down. I know you've been through a lot. Let's wait here and just sit quiet for a while and see what we hear. Maybe someone is coming back. Maybe they brought you here and someone else was injured.
God, I hope not.
Or
well,
maybe they were going after something they dropped.
I know Shadrach was hurt because he got hit with the ballistas like 3-4 times.
Oh no.
They were just teeing off on him. I think they knew he's the one that set the thorns that killed all the guys.
The thorns?
They started growing up on the dock, in the water, on the castle walls. They were every place, and guys were just dropping.
Oh, that's a wonderful spell.
Oh, oh
For someone
my,
that likes to
wonderful.
kill
I don't
people.
know. You gotta seen all the blood. The sand was turning red.
No.
I've never seen a bloodbath like that ever. And Shadrach was right there in the midst of it all, waving his arms, doing it.
Sure, it was horrendous. Those slavers are no joke. They're evil, despicable people. You did the right thing by trying to free the slaves.
Oh,
I wish I could have helped.
I was going to say, if I did the right things by getting into the woods somehow, being dead almost.
Well, we don't know what the outcome is yet.
No,
Wait,
you don't.
let's sit tight. Let's calm down, take a breath, try to get some rest. And maybe we'll wait it out till morning and see what happens. And then come daylight, we'll move out. We'll go back up to the cliff.
Okay. You have to you have to watch out. Like I said, there's a creature out here also, but I don't think it's evil. They're getting ready to fight, and I put my sword down and told everybody to stop, because I just didn't sense that it was evil. So it's big. So you
I
have,
can protect our area.
well, like I said, I don't think it's evil. So if you see something like that, just be leery, but don't attack it right off the bat.
Oh, okay. I wouldn't dare.
With that, I'm going to eat a good berry.
Okay. And it provides you with a hit point, and you feel nourished and a full belly.
After waiting a while, I will cast another spell. Will allow the wounds can heal, sleep a little better.
Hold on, Daryl. You broke up on that one. I know why. We're getting some heavy traffic here. So you said you were going to cast another spell, and what one is it?
Cure moderate.
Okay.
Sound like
All right.
he's casting it in tongues.
Is there any way that you would wish to cast the spell which could give you a possible bonus to the outcome?
Oh, mighty blend, channel my piety and let the brave warrior be healed for his daring efforts. And I cast.
That's true.
While we wait to hear the outcome of the spell, because Daryl, you are frozen. Although you are doing the black
Am I
power
still?
sign. You got your hand up in the air, and
Picture is
you got
the
this
next
look
sound.
on your face like you just ate
There you go.
a bad berry. Okay, so what happened?
Oh. I rolled a 1.
Oh,
So, sorry about that. But you get 1 hit point.
did you give a chance to...
All right, so I'll give you one more because of his.
Also, if you eat more than one good berry, you fart a lot.
So you get 2 points.
Thank you.
Okay, so are you guys just gonna chillax there in the darkness and?
I'm going to go to sleep.
I think that might be the best idea.
Are you going to take anything off the horses to create a more comfortable sleeping environment, or are you just gonna try to like lean up against a tree, or
Lean up against a
you
tree.
dig out a hole in the sandy?
I don't feel good enough to
No.
do that. I'm just gonna, with that rock sticking in my side, I'm gonna lay down.
All right. And Vanessa, do you do anything other than just kind of keep watch and?
I'm gonna sleep light if I fall asleep at all. I'm listening for maybe any of the others approaching or
Okay.
any danger approaching.
All right. So we switch back to COVID and Kettle Tom.
So I take a knee, I say a prayer to Nemesis. Nemesis, I need your guidance. I'm lost in the woods. I need to get back to the beach, back to our horses, back to my friend. Please guide me in any way you can. And then I rise and I again try to pick a direction which somehow makes sense to me. And I said, all right, Kill Tom, I think this is the direction. And then I start moving again at a good speed for him, as slow as he wants, basically. And I start heading that direction. Again, I am chopping, limbs here and there, so I can at least, I know I'm leaving a trail, but it's also so I can see it if we need to come back to it. Should have done it first time.
Okay. Roll a
Chopping, bending.
roll a d12.
4.
And roll it again.
10.
Okay. So you do as you think, as you said. And Kettle Tom's kind of following along. And how often do you chop on something to attempt to leave
5
a
feet.
mark? Every 5 foot you chop at something?
Well, for something there to, yeah, well, I don't want to, yeah, because it'd be like for me to the doorway, so if you go beyond that, you might not see the next chop mark and try to follow it. And I'm not honestly concerned with anything under following me. I'm concerned with
All right.
trying to get back to the beach, because I ain't coming back this way anyway.
Okay, so you go for a ways, and
Now, again, if it seems like we went an entirely way too long a period of time, it's like, this must not be it.
well, just as you go for a way, and you're like, this must not be it, your eyes catch something about 30 foot to your right, and you head over there, and you see a mark on a tree. Apparently, someone has been marking or chopping at trees through here.
So it looks like one of my marks.
Yeah, I mean, could be. That would make sense. Can't say for sure.
I look around every
And
5 feet. Do
as
I
you
see
start to
another
mark,
mark?
you're like, oh, and then you see that there's a trail that's going a certain direction. And it goes in two different, you're like, you look and you're like,
You say a trail.
Ah,
you mean,
fuck.
You mean a trail like I created?
marks.
Yeah. So
and
then,
Kettle Tom's like, what is it?
just getting my bearings. I don't tell them that I fucked up. I'm going in circles here. We better hunker down and wait till it gets first light. So
He's like-
I look for a spot where looks like it may be a little bit of a dip.
Or maybe like a clump of something or something
Yeah,
that
well,
might
I don't
offer-
want to be in the high spot
Sure,
of the ground, so I
okay.
look for something or a couple
Yeah,
big trees.
there's
a down tree would be perfect, and
Well,
then
you know how forests are.
yeah,
There's
go up
down
against
trees.
that. I'm like, you try to get some shut eye. I'm all right. I'm gonna wait until early light, and then I'm gonna see if that may
Okay.
improve our chances.
He's like, He's like,
You get some sleep.
if you feel comfortable standing guard, then
I'm fine.
I'm gonna try to take advantage of it. And
I'm fine.
See him lean back and kind of slumps down with his back against the tree that the fallen tree is kind of bumped up, and he kind of tries. You see him fidgeting as you're kind of looking around. You can kind of hear him fidgeting his chain and getting things, and he reaches, grabs what seems to be like his holy symbol, and he kind of pulls it out, and he's got one hand there, and he's got another hand on his weapon, and you see him just close his eyes, and he's still, whether he falls asleep or not, hard to tell.
I am going to remain vigilant. I'm getting comfortable, but in a spot where I can look around, and I just scan the area. I'm listening very intently at any changes and sounds.
Roll a d20.
A 3?
All right. The sounds of the flora and the fauna in the early morning hours as the sun breaks, still, while you all are in this heavy forest, it's very, very shady, but you're no longer in the complete or almost complete darkness of the night. And Pick, you awaken, and you're stiff and sore. Unfortunately, it was, the rest that you got, it really wasn't enough to give you a hit point back. And the same thing goes for Kettle Tom, as you think in your mind he should probably be able to see now with the light that's filtering through the canopy and the trees. And
Now I'm making a point that, all right, the direction that the light is coming from, okay, that's the direction of the beach.
if you say so.
Well, the coastline is on the west side. Wait a minute. No, it's the opposite. It's the opposite direction of the. I mean, we've never ever discussed this, I don't think, Cobb, but I'm kind of aware when we're in the middle of anywhere we live and we're looking, we know the sun rises and always falls there. So, do I know the coastline is on the, I mean, I know it's the western part of this continent. I don't know how big the continent is, but do I know the sun sets on that side? I mean, I don't know. Your planet might be completely different, that's why I'm asking.
That's
okay. So then I know that if the sun's rising over there, then the beach has to be the opposite direction, because the sun always sets in that direction. The west. I'm like, I wake Kelton up and I said, let's go. I'm pretty sure it's that direction, which is not in the direction probably any of my cuttings are, correct? Phoenix, we never got
Well, there's one that kind of goes back that way, but it's kind of catty corner maybe? I don't know. It's like it's just heading off in a direction, and then...
Well, it's nice that with the sun starting to rise, my oval's the sun, that any light coming in is leading through the canopy at an angle like this. So it's real easy to kind of tell that to keep going in that direction. If I'm going this way and the sun's cutting through, I mean, that's not the right direction.
I think you know which way
yeah,
west
I mean, just
is.
using, I'm trying to do that. So then we move again at the speed that's comfortable for Kettle Tom in the direction opposite
He wakes
the
up
sun rays.
and he's like, anything?
Well, I just told you, I woke him up and told him that. I said, I think it's that direction. The sun is rising now, should be the opposite direction of our beach. So.
All right, give me a second, and he goes and relieves himself, and then he says,
I go ahead and do my morning prayer and that to announce why he's doing that.
all right, let's go then.
And like I said,
head off.
he can see now, but I'll still move at his comfortable speed. And then he doesn't need to hold on to me anymore, but I make sure to not pull ahead of them.
Sure. All right, so after some time passes, you're not sure.
And now this daytime, about every 10 feet I make a chop. And I cut a branch off and lay it in the direction I'm traveling.
All right. Roll a d10.
2.
All right. so when the morning comes for Pick and Vanessa, Pick, you kind of groan. Vanessa, you hear that and you look over and you can see Pick has survived the night. Do you guys do anything in what appears to be the morning here on the coast? Start with Vanessa.
If he will allow me, I will tend his wounds on first aid so that he is in the doctor's care. I will then cast Cure Light Wounds. All-knowing Cobb, send your blessings upon his wounds and allow the scabs to go away and renew the flesh. In the blend's name, I pray.
All right, roll with advantage, please.
7 points.
Nice, thank you.
And yeah, as Vanessa casts the spell, you see where she is pressing on your side, under your arm where you got stuck on the left side here. You kind of look and you can see where the pierced leather armor, but underneath the skin knits and heals, leaving the hole in the armor that you just had repaired.
You're a blessing to have found me like this.
Are you looking better, like you might be able to move freely?
Yes.
I have an idea that might allow us to more easily find your friends, if there are any left alive, or at very least, direct us back toward the cliff. If you will accept the blessings of the blend, I can bestow upon you the ability to scamper about the trees as if you were a squirrel, with the agility of a squirrel. And you can climb to the treetop and see which way is the cliff and which way is the fort, and give us some bearings.
Well, I can tell you, the beach is right there. We can hear it.
Oh,
So I know the beach is there, and once we get to the beach, we go right, and the fort's down there. I know that. But
we don't want to go to the fort.
I don't want to go to the fort after yesterday. You walk on the beach, they'll be able to see
Not
it
until we
coming.
find the other.
They have to be out in the woods someplace. They have to be hiding somewhere. Or worst case, they might
Or
be
captured.
They might have been, exactly, they might have been captured. But it just doesn't make sense how I
You
got
can't
back
collapse.
to where I'm at.
You may have run here in a daze, in shock from your wounds, and collapsed at the horses.
I could have, I don't
possible.
remember that.
You took a severe
I don't know
beating.
how I would have got past all those guys, plus all the thorns. I'd have been laying on the beach. And this elf don't swim. Just saying.
All right. So
Well, if you think you know the way, then I think we should move.
I don't know if
We should head back toward
maybe go.
the camp at the cliff.
The only thing that I would agree to right now is going down to the edge of the tree line at the beach to see if we can see anybody right there. I don't think walking up and down the beach is a good idea.
All right, I agree. I don't want to be out in the open. I think we should head the opposite way of the beach. But I'll walk partway through the woods with you. I don't want to go out on the beach though, but you can creep out there and look. I'm not sneaky,
I'll go to the edge.
so I don't want to.
We might be able to see some tracks there. I don't know. Or, luck might have it, we might trip over somebody.
Perhaps. let me try something. Is there anything that belongs to Shadrach on his horse?
Oh, I'm sure.
Which one is his? The big one?
Paul pointed out.
Alright.
Nice.
And I look on the horse. Is there any packs there's nothing there?
What are you saying,
I looked.
Shadrach? What are you saying, Jason?
There's nothing on the horse.
He's saying,
I don't even think he's got a saddle. He was riding bareback.
What, is there any?
COVID's got stuff on his horse.
The saddle that I bought that I never set, that's it, the saddle.
Okay.
And I never rode the horse when we were coming up to the fort. I just walked next to it.
So,
mostly.
so when Pick points out the horse that is Shadrach's, what does Vanessa see? And I'm asking Jason.
Just a saddle on the horse. Oh.
A bear saddle with a saddle blanket, that's it.
Okay.
And then I'll go, that's COVID's horse, that's Kettle Tom's, and that's mine.
That one must be Reginald's then.
Oh, and Reginald, yeah.
I turn to COVID's horse and I look to see what is on it.
My pack would be hanging off the saddle because I left the pack behind.
Well, you can tell
I
Daryl
just
what.
said-
That's it?
My pack is hanging off the saddle. I left my pack that we normally would have on us. We all left those behind. I don't know what Shadrach did, but so mine would be hanging off the.
I'll open
saddle.
up the saddle bag and reach into it. And
Not a saddlebag. It's
See what I
it's like
see.
my backpack thing. It's hanging right off the.
And what does he find in there?
It's my my gear, my sleeping.
are there any
equipment.
clothes?
Yes. Yes.
A shirt maybe?
Yes.
I pull the shirt out. I gotta get another page here. I take the shirt and I begin to hold it in my hands and I'm chanting in an image that Pick may or may not know. I'm saying words that are invoking some sort of magic. Let me pull this up there, page here, but I'll get a little more specific for you.
Roll for selling, Coleman?
41.
Okay.
Da.
I'm guessing you're looking up a spell, Vanessa. What?
Yeah, it's a 1 round casting time, so I'm gonna concentrate on this for a while, and I'm holding the shirt at different times, snipping it. I feel the fabric in my hands, and I am trying to make a connection with Covidius. Oh, Heavenly Father, mighty ruler of the Glen, allow me to see where and how this man is doing. Give me the vision and the connection through your might. Show me the whereabouts of Covidius. And I cast Sympathetic 1.
I'm sorry, you broke up. Say that again.
Sympathetic Magic 1.
Okay, give me a second to check that out, and maybe I can give you a proper.
Page
There it is. Okay, let's see.
Page 3.
Yeah, that didn't come through at all.
Okay. Casting time, 1 round.
Simplified that one. I think that's what he cast.
Okay, so you cast the spell and you allow your mind to go calm. and peaceful. And it reaches out to the blend in its many forms. And over the period of this round, the blend turns into a steady stream back and forth from everywhere in the area of effect. And you home in on one particular strand, and it reminds you of the person that you met called Covidius. And you, as you rub the shirt, the two strands come together in your mind, from the shirt through your arm, up through your brain, and out. And you perceive that Covidius is alive. He is if I remember correctly, slightly injured. I'm
Yeah.
not exactly sure.
That'd be correct.
And you feel as though the shirt is like the strand that is between the shirt and its owner is growing smaller by the moment.
It does say the current location, so does it give me a general knowledge of the direction in which he is and how far perhaps from me?
That's what I described with the description of the spell. So the location is in the forest, and it's like
And he's getting further away as
No.
the thread gets thinner.
no, he's actually getting closer as the thread gets shorter. It's as if you were watching a GPS line that grew shorter as something approached its destination.
Okay.
And the general direction is from the forest if you were to face the east.
Okay.
And that is the
Thank
information
you.
your spell gives you.
The blend is holy. Covidius is alive, Dick, and he's heading toward us from the woods, and I point to the east.
And just as he points, you see coming through the forest, Covidius followed quickly by Kettle Tom. And you see them kind of through the
It's
trees.
just them two?
Just those two.
So I see them, like, her? I know what
Yes.
she, do I recognize her immediately?
Vanessa.
I mean, I think so.
Vanessa, look,
Yeah,
it's
I'm just
them.
saying, it's like, I didn't expect her to be there.
There they are. As
Sort of way.
the spell ends, Cobb, the shirt seems to crinkle into ash and wither, like if you've ever seen a propane lantern globe, it just becomes ash and crumbles in my hands.
I think I have. That's like a little net, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you touch them, they crumble.
Yeah, I have seen that, and that's cool. So there you go. You guys apparently, unless one of you decides to attack somebody else, you can come together and talk about whatever you want.
Vanessa?
What has happened?
What the heck are you doing here?
Are you okay?
I've been better,
I
but
came to help.
Kettle Tom is worse than I am. I see Pick alive. Oh, wait,
Oh,
right?
brother.
Yeah.
Oh, did you do this for Pick? Did you bring him around?
I woke up.
Yes, I found him with the horses last night.
I put him there and had to go back for Shadrach. I couldn't carry. Shadrach fell in the wood. All right, the four of us were moving. Shadrach was badly injured. Kettle Tom was badly injured. I'm more or less okay. I was carrying Pick. Shadrach took a nasty break to his leg in a hole in the woods moving at night back here to the horses. And it was apparently enough. It was enough to just put him completely out. And I knew I was somewhat close, so I brought Pick back to the horses as best I could find. It's getting a little turned around out here in the woods. I know I'm an elf, but I don't know the woods well enough, I guess, here. I went back for Shadrach, and then we kind of got lost. So we hunkered, well, at one point, we ran into that creature again. And I set Shadrach down in front of me, and I went down on my knees, held my hands up in the air, showing that I didn't mean any harm. I tried conversing with it. I don't even know if it understood me. I said we needed its help. It looked down at Shadrach, it picked Shadrach up, put it on its back, and then moved off into the forest in this direction. But that was last night. We moved on for a while, and I was moving in circles. So we hunkered down until the sun could come up so I could find my directions, and then we moved here. I don't know how bad.
What about with the hat?
Reginald went below decks, and we had not seen him for a while. We were overrun, and we had multiple people falling. So I made a call to try and get us what was left of us out of there.
Where's Reginald?
Reginald did not reemerge from below deck, and we had our numbers were.
What do you mean below deck?
He went below deck somewhere. I don't know. There's too many of us were severely injured and falling, Nick, as you did. I had to get those that were alive out. I couldn't go after him, or you guys surely would have been taken. I mean, and then we were accosted on the way down the beach as we were at the edge of the fort. There's a side gate. A dozen men or something like that came out that gate, and we had to deal with them. And then there was a horn blown, and they all ran back in and locked the gate. I figured that must have been them calling that creature. And like I said, probably about an hour later, we ran into the creature. But it didn't do us any harm.
This creature that took Shadrach, where did it take him?
I don't know, but I would assume it's lair, and we know where that is.
We do?
Well, we do. We were there yesterday before we...
Yeah, we've been there before.
Yeah, we've been there. We've met it there before. I don't have any idea what condition... I don't have any condition... I don't have any idea what condition Reginald was in. I only know that he disappeared, and I did go to a door that I think he was in, a room he was in, but there were many men of power in that room, and I could not take the door down. Like I said, the numbers were changing. We were always outnumbered, but we were doing well, holding our own, until several members. Kettle Tom dropped at one point, Pick dropped, Shad was severely injured. I had to try and get you out of there before it came to the point where I can't carry two of you. So we left as best as we could. And the reason we weren't together this morning was because Shadrach took a nasty spill in the woods, and that laid him out unconscious. We bound his wound and whatnot, but we couldn't do anything else. Kettle Tom seemed to be expended as well. Kettle Tom, by the way, is in very poor shape. As I motion to Vanessa of the Blend.
He looks at Vanessa and says,
I wanted to tell you that
Sister, hi, hello.
I went through your...
Go ahead, Daryl.
Covidius, I wanted you to know that I went through your pack on your horse.
Okay.
And I used your shirt to cast a spell to try and find you, and the shirt was destroyed.
Did it help you?
I did. It did. It let me know that you were alive and you were heading our way, and we were getting ready to head towards you when you emerged. Okay. But with that said, I could attempt to do the same thing for your friend Reginald to find out if you guys want to know where he is and what's happened.
I mean,
Or
sure.
if he's alive, I should say. I can.
That would be comforting to know. I mean, I would guess that he is alive and probably in chains at this point. Hopefully he found some way to get out of there, but I kind of doubt it at this point. Like I said, our advantages were dropping pretty quick there at the end, and I hated leaving anybody behind. But
Everyone else is accounted for, so I think.
yeah. He was last on the ship, inside somewhere. I think he was possibly in the room in the front of the ship, but I can't be certain. I did not have eyes on him. And somewhere in
So
that
I
ship,
will go to Reginald.
somewhere in that ship, the priest is running about. I couldn't find him either, and I was trying to kill that priest. That priest was casting some nasty spells on us. So hopefully he didn't run into the priest. I don't know. And I said, well, that's his horse right there. And I point to his horse, which I believe had his pack on it as well.
And I will go to that horse, and I will look for a shirt, and I just happen to know there's one there, and I will take some time and concentrate on the shirt. Oh, Heavenly Father, all-knowing God, allow me to connect to this man's psyche, just where he is, and if his health is in shape. I pray you connect me to him. And I cast the same spell, Sympathetic Magic 1. Am I froze up?
Nope.
No, I'm just looking at the spell.
Okay.
Isn't it the same one? You just
Well, there's another spell that's... Okay. Do you reveal what the spell reveals?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
It'll tell me if he's alive or dead and where he might be. If he's in the woods, making his way toward us.
Okay. Roughly perceive the current location. Well, apparently Reginald, or whatever his name is alive.
that's good.
He is wounded.
Great.
And his rough location would be about somewhere further up the beach. Inside of a wooden structure. And I think that's it.
And I will include as a sure denigrates to us.
Probably
He's alive. He's alive.
Probably about a less than an hour's journey up the beach.
He's within a structure. He must be captive. Either the ship or the fort.
At least he's alive. There were many,
We know that much.
many captives below decks on that ship. I mean, many, an army's worth of captives chained up on the lower decks of that ship. We did not have a chance to release them. We were always
It's a
under
shame
fight.
you couldn't break the chains and free any of them.
We were always under a fight. We never had a chance to do anything but defend ourselves and take out the enemy. And then the ballistas started in on us. And
It's a noble cause.
the ballistas hurt both Pick and Shadrach took several hits. I'm surprised he was not dropped right there on the deck of the ship. I took several hits, but I'm better than the rest of you. I would prefer, if you have any healing magic, you use them on these two, and then Shadrach, I don't know what conditions he is. Can you perhaps do the same thing with Shadrach? I point to Shadrach's horse. I don't know if there's anything on it that would...
That's where I looked first. He has no belongings.
I didn't remember if he took his pack with him. That he
Brother
kept on the
Tom, may I see to your wounds?
Absolutely, sister.
Please have a seat, and I will
He'll take a knee.
administer first aid to assess his wounds, and then I will put my hands on his forehead and Heavenly Father, with the might of the blend, let your light heal his wounds, and I cast Cure Moderate.
Roll with advantage.
Five points.
Thank you, Sister Vanessa.
I can tell you that both Kettle Tom and Pick were stabilized, and Kettle Tom was revived by Shadrach before we left the boat. They were both down, but Pick did not regain
Yeah.
consciousness. I'm glad, Pick, you're alive. I really am.
Me too.
Sorry I didn't get back here last night. We just got turned around too many times in the woods.
Whose spear is this? There's a spearman in there. Whose is that?
The spear alert.
By the horses.
Must be Shadrach's then, I guess. It's not mine.
Can I see what he's talking
Well,
about?
someone should use
The
it.
spear by the horses. It must be
You
Shadrach.
think you know where he is, or should I try to use this to locate him?
I think we know where he is. I think whether it be good that the thing's going to see to him or befriend him, it took him back to its lair. If it's hungry and it's going to eat him, it took him back to his lair. So either way, I think we need to go to the lair. Find out if he's alive now won't help if he's going to be eaten. Either way, we got to go to the lair. And I don't...
Do you think you can find it?
Yeah, I think we can find our way back to it, but I am kind of, I don't think right now we can do anything for Reginald. I hate to say that, but
We can rescue them both, and he is being guarded in one of those structures.
yeah, she's in the
So
boat
I
down
think we
below.
can try to save Shadrach.
Yeah, we can't do shit on over there without Shadrach. Shadrach was too important on that beach.
I can lead Reginald's horse. Let's make way. You
Right.
guys know the way.
All right, we do that. I
Pick up
mount
Shad's
back
spear
up.
in case I need it later.
Give some food to my horse this morning. I talked to a
should
good
pick
boy.
up
I'm glad you
Shad's
stayed here.
spear and need it later to find him. Warrior, can you carry that spear?
It's a long spear, by the way.
I didn't hear what you said first, Reginald. I mean, Daryl.
Can you carry that spear?
Yes.
in case we don't find it and I need to use it. That's the only thing I know of that,
Yes.
unless one of you guys has something of his.
I have a good berry I have one good berry left that he gave me.
It's like a boar spear or some shit like that. It's a long spear.
I can handle
that
the
might
spear.
work as well, but
I can take the spear, that's not a problem.
good deal.
So I take the spear.
I'm ready to move out then.
I put it in the
I'm
book.
following. I'm last. I'm not quiet or stealthy or fast.
Okay.
Good to know.
And who's going first, second, third, or fourth?
I'll take, well, we could ride 2x2 on the beach for a while. I'll ride next to Pick if he wants.
I will.
Okay.
And while we're riding, I want to thank you for pulling me from the fire, the battle.
You know, we did incredible, and a lot of that is due to Shadrach, but, you know, freshmen keep appearing, and those ballistas took their toll on us. It got to the point where, you know, that turned the tide. I mean, I could have stayed there and fought and killed the rest of the men that kept appearing, but you guys are down. I can't carry multiple people. We had to leave while we had people that could move. I could carry you, but I couldn't carry two. Because there's still things to fight there, still ballistas to dodge. And like I said, we got accosted by approximately a dozen people outside on the way out the beach. But luckily they called the creature that didn't kill us. And they all ran back inside and locked the door. So, I mean, if it wasn't for that, I mean, I was just getting up there to wail on their asses, but still. I don't know the Shadrach. Shadrach wanted to fight and be in the front with his sword out against these guys that came out that side gate, regardless of the fact that he's looked near death. He would have dropped there, and I'm like, stay back. I can handle all these guys. These guys are nothing. But again, you know, he showed a lot of bravery, or maybe it's part stupidity. I don't know. He had to be out there in front of that fight, and it's like, man, you need to take care of yourself and get behind. So, but like I said, luckily they got called in, or the horn went off. They ran inside, they locked the gate, and we took off into the woods because I forgot we fucking were on that beach. That's my fault that we went into the woods, and so therefore it's my fault that he fell in a hole and broke his ankle. We could have went right down the beach and got to the horses, but I forgot where we left them.
Alrighty, so who's helming the lead, and what is the specific path you are taking to what place?
Take the beach back to that path we took off to, that led us to the beach that went up to the lair, or to what we were calling the lair.
Okay.
And it's Pick and I side by side.
Alright, very good. So you do that, and
Just so you know, Vanessa said she's going to lead Redgill's horse. We've also got Pick's horse, so there's one extra horse back.
well, Pick's on a horse, right?
We have Shad's horse. Shad's not here.
Okay.
We have Reginald's horse. Reginald's not here.
Okay.
So there's one more horse.
Yeah, my horse would be perfect for Vanessa. It's a big draft horse.
That's a good point. We need one more horsey.
I'm not riding a horse.
So I mean, if it matters, I'll lead. I'll hold the lead to the other horse, you know, off my saddle, so it follows
Okay.
if necessary.
Pick, roll a d12. A 10. Alright. So you follow the beach and then you head off into the woods. And this way looks familiar. There's not any trail per se.
Remember the rock outcropping, like we followed along the edge down. That's how we found the lair before. Remember?
Well, this is just from.
I know, but I'm
from
just
the
saying,
beach, so
right, I mean, we never had a map you never drew it out, so I'm just saying I try to retrace that based on the
Correct,
map
that's what I'm, that's what
Right.
I'm describing.
But I remember we were along that rock, that
Right.
cliff edge or
We're not
whatever.
there yet.
I'm just saying, I remember that much of it, but the rest of it was just walking through
And you, from the beach, when you look up, you can see as the cliff face splits and rises above the ground. And so as you enter the forest, you have a pretty good idea of which way to go to reach that cliff face, whether it be at the beginning of it or at the end of it or whatever. And as you head towards that, you make your way there, and you are there at that cliff face that's probably about 30 feet high, and if you were to go right, you would go to where it would meet the ground, or you can go left, and you kind of recognize this as a way that you've already been.
So we go left towards where the lair we should run into the lair. Now I mentioned to everybody, if we run into a creature, dismount your horse. If you're on a horse, don't hold any arms up to it. I don't think this thing means us harm. It has Shadrick, hopefully not in its belly. Let's try not to attack it. Last time we were here, Reginald attacked it with a sword and harmed it. So Vanessa, I don't know what you can all do, but it may require some healing. That may show good faith on our side too. I don't know how that works with you, or if it needs it, or if it would even allow it, or how you could even do it. But something to keep in mind. Cobb's looking for new music, just so you guys know what's up.
There we go. That's what I want. Thank you.
Confounded internet got us paused again. Cobb's watching commercials on his computer.
All right, so once again you encounter the flora and the fauna of this cliff face that grows ever higher on your right. And as you travel along this, the feeling of being in an enclosed area wanes after a while, riding along this edge of this trail here, this game trail. And you see evidence of animals having been through here, and birds and things skittering along the wall. And then eventually you come to the point where there's that curve where you can't see past it, but you know that the font is on the other side of the curve. So, unless you have any specific things that you want to do before you encounter the font and perhaps where the creature is, COVID has his hand up.
I will dismount before we get there.
And how close would you like to be?
Sight. And then I dismount and I walk my horse in.
Sight from here, it's like you can see that from pretty far away, like
Okay,
200 feet.
50 feet.
Okay.
I'll follow suit.
All right.
Matter of fact, I'm going to lead my horse. I'm going to suggest we lead the horses here so they don't get agitated by this creature, just in case.
Kettle Tom will do that as well. And Vanessa, you
Reins along a branch.
you were walking. Is that right, Vanessa? Okay.
That's correct. And I'm reaching in my pouch and feeling for a sprig of mistletoe.
Okay. Anything else before you proceed from anyone?
I leave my shield at the horse,
Okay.
hanging off the, what do you call it? The horn?
Pommel.
Pommel?
All right. So Any particular marching order going up?
I'll take the lead.
I'll go second.
All
I'm
right.
last.
Okay. So, a snake darts out from under a rock and skitters away off into the forest. Sounds of birds and other things rustling in the woods and in the wall. But there's also flying insects and colorful birds here as well. And the sound of baby birds yapping in a high nest upon the wall pierces the sounds. And as you get up to the edge of that wall, you look around and you see exactly what you might remember seeing before. A rock basin with water coming out of the middle of it and splashing and forming a pool. The water coming off the left side and running off into the forest.
Is there a druid in the water?
Would you like to approach the font and look down into the...
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. Set it off.
We should fill our water skins.
You bravely approach the font by yourself, Pig.
This is the creature's. I reply back to the
And
message. This is the creature's home. Let's
you,
wait and see if we can.
You do not see any creature other than you can see what appears to be a spider web that's moist from the splashing of the water, but there you don't notice any spider there. And you also then look past and you can see the crevice where you kind of got wedged in there before. And
I call out Shadrach's name. Shadrach, are you here? Anybody remember the creature's name?
There's not even a cave.
It's the crevice over there.
Shadrach, we now switch scenes to you. You are unconscious at a certain negative hit points, if I remember correctly. End of scene. We go back to everyone else.
Shadrach? Creature?
You kind of hear the voice bounce off the wall and kind of very, very slight reverberation, but nothing like a true harrowing echo. Just kind of the curve in the wall lends itself.
Creature, we mean you no harm. I hope you haven't eaten my friend Shadrach. He meant you no harm either, unless you eat him. Then he'll be distasteful.
When we were looking at the crevice, if I look to the top where it's at, can I see where it ends?
Yeah, it's like 10 foot high, kind of.
I'd like to climb the wall.
Okay, I need you to roll a d6.
That's
A 6, okay. What is your destination for movement along the wall?
I'm going to climb to the top to where
The crack ends?
Uh-huh.
Okay. And are you climbing
I am.
natural or are you climbing unnatural?
unnatural.
All right. So, at this point, no one has said that they're approaching, so they're still behind the wall there. You're there by yourself. So you climb and you reach the top. And what do you do?
I look around.
Okay, well, I mean, other than the vines and leafy things that are growing out of the wall, and when you look in the crack there, you can look in and you can see back pretty far, but it kind of like twists a little bit, so you can't like see into anything that might be behind.
So I can definitely pull stuff to the side?
No, that's just it. Like if the crack is here, and like it kind of turns a little bit, so you can only see in like a foot before you're just seeing wall.
So does it get wider the higher I go?
Actually, it gets thinner because when you were at the bottom, you could kind of fit halfway in before you got stuck. Well, up here it's only like a foot, so you couldn't even get in that far.
Can't look down into it?
No, unfortunately, that's it's just there's too much rock there.
I move one up.
And when I get up there, is it a ledge up there?
No, it's just a rocky face.
Okay.
Kind of like, not exactly like, but you know how they blast out the highway.
Mhm.
It's like that.
Is there any in this area, would there be any place that would be concealed by the leaves and the vines?
Well, you got the whole wall that theoretically has places that are more viney and leafy than others. So, but around the crack, no. As you look, the crack seems shaved. Oh, like nothing is growing here.
I'm gonna go farther up.
Okay. How far would you like to go? At this point, as you look up, it goes up to at least over 100 feet. That'd be a long ass climb if you wanted to go all the way to the top.
Yeah.
Of course, that's no big deal to you right now. As you come around the edge, you can see that he's got his feet in one hand as he's looking around, and he's just kind of stuck to the wall.
You see anything?
Unfortunately, no.
Yes, Vanessa.
I move forward to fill my water skins, and I say, there's not even a cave here. You think this is where the beast lives?
Yes.
It's like a crack you see in the wall?
We encountered it here. It has the ability to move through
You
the crack.
see, when you come around the edge there, you can see the font as I described, and you see Pick, who's got like 2 feet on the wall. He's like 10 foot up, and he's got his left hand on the wall, and he's like reaching around and looking with his right hand free. It's almost like he's like stuck to the wall as he moves about. It's weird looking. Okay, so
I could never do that.
where do you want to go?
And I can see nothing.
COVID, may I?
What?
Can I have Shadrach's spear?
So like
Yep.
you would be like
You never really used it anyway.
up there on the wall doing your Peter Parker jam. There's Kettle Tom. Vanessa has moved up and has got like her water skin down in the font, gurgle, 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 filling it with water. At least I think that's what you said you were doing.
When I turn around and I'm
Yes.
looking at them, and I turn my head and look, what do I see straight across from there?
Like in just a dense forest.
Of course. No big spider web, nothing over there.
Make me a perception check, please.
Perception or observation?
Perception.
And that's with intelligence?
It is.
36.
Okay. I mean, you see some spider webs in the trees, but they don't look abnormally large or.
Nothing
I mean,
would
just
support
like
something.
I would walk through as I go out the front yard to go to get the mail. It's like that kind of thing. Nothing. Yeah, like Curly hated spider web, so it's like.
I understand that.
So, but yeah, nothing out of the ordinary. Okay, so Vanessa, you have dumped your water skin down and you're filling it up with water, and you turn to Covidius and you say, "May I have the spear?" And I need you to save versus spells. If you have a magical defense adjustment, you would add that to your roll. And you want to meet or beat the number on your sheet for spells.
That's not a percentile. I got
It's not.
percentile dice for some reason. It's D20.
D20.
I got very low.
Oh,
Well, too low. It is a 11, and I needed a 14 to
Okay.
save for spells.
All right, so hold on here because you may have a special Mumford because of your other special Mumford. And
Wow, we like special.
I need to find that
I like
because
Mumford and Sons too.
that's okay. So, well, that is not on the thing. Oh, yeah, it is. Okay, so you start to feel like you're being watched, and you start to grow paranoid. And
Man,
as
just be safe.
as the fear starts to invade your mind, another power exerts itself. And from your possessions, a tiny little golden butterfly flies up and kind of encircles you, and little bits of this golden dust kind of fall down upon you and upon the font. And you realize that your item that you have, that the relic that you have, has
Okay.
bolstered your resolve, and you have an immunity to cause fear.
Ah,
So what normally would have frightened anyone off from this place, you are, something about that which you have has stopped it.
nice. It's not safe here. Something knows. There definitely is a magical effect going on here. Everybody be ready.
Is anyone else doing anything other than watching?
well, he had asked me a question, or did he get to answer the question?
He asked while he was filling up his thing, and then I described
Okay.
this thing, and then he said what he said. So that's where we are.
All right, so Vanessa, if you're looking at me when I say, here's the spear, but you don't see an 8-foot spear.
Okay.
So I reach up to my quiver, and then the head of the spear appears in my hand, and then I pull with a couple hands because it's really damn long to get the 8-foot spear out, and I produce it to you and I hand it to you.
Oh my.
And somehow this long implement seems a little like it's too long to fit in this quiver that he's carrying. So who knows what that's all about?
Over 6 feet too long.
But anyway,
My eyes are wide open, and I say, the cob works in mysterious ways.
why are you saying the cob? It's the blend.
And
Are you saying that on purpose, Daryl, or are you just making your mind is glooshed?
the cob is the cosmic omnipotent benevolence
Oh,
that
that's-
recognizes
Okay. Yes. Never
the
mind.
blend.
Yes. I totally
It's a
forgot.
shortened version instead of saying
Yes.
the all-knowing cosmic omnipotent benevolence. It
Yes.
just works into the religion.
No, I forgot about that. So you're good.
So I reply to, I don't know what the cob is, but this is the power of the nemesis.
So do you take the spear?
I take the spear. I will cast my spell and see if I can determine if we're in the right place or if we need to go totally somewhere else. Because I don't like this place. It's dangerous.
No, it's not dangerous.
What spell are you casting?
Once again, I will cast Sympathetic Magic 1, and I will kneel near the font and hold the spear on my head.
Don't spread anything at this age.
Oh, Heavenly Father, mighty Spirit of the Blend, allow me once again to call upon your powers to allow me to save heroes that have fought so bravely and connect with his spirit and find Shadrach.
All right.
I cast the spell.
You cast the spell, and once again, these strands all shoot out, invisible strands of mana, and the cosmic omnipotent benevolence stretches out, but one particular one comes from the spear, and it causes your arm to move, holding the spear, until the spear points to the crack in the wall. And you can sense that Shadrach is alive and he is behind this crack. Somehow, he is inside the mountain.
And as the spear crumbles into pieces and is consumed by the mana, see, here, he's alive. He's in there.
Oh, good. Good to know. Although I don't know how we're going to get to him. We've tried to get in there. The creature must not be here. It must be out in the woods. Maybe your magic should do it. Don't destroy this place. Like I said, there's no evil here. It's only, it becomes of it what you make of it. The creature is not here, or we would have encountered it. It must be out doing whatever it does in the woods.
Kettle Tom says, he says, don't you guys have like a thing where you're good at finding secrets? Or am I mistaken?
No, that's what I said when I was looking, it was because the sea comes from how open or something.
I'll take a look. I walk up and I start looking. I thought we did this before and we failed to find a way in. I thought we did this last time we were here, but I don't remember. I try again on the off chance that we can do it again. And I start moving around the wall, looking around the crack area, seeing if there's something that may allow this to be passable or open, or maybe something that moves.
So you check again, and unfortunately, because you've all checked before and you failed, you don't get another, like it doesn't renew your chance. So, but
I
double check. You're
I
looking for those fucking keys. You know they were here somewhere, and you look 3 or 4 times where you always put your keys, and then for some reason they don't reappear.
I told Kel Thomas that I'm pretty sure we checked last time, but I still can't seem to. There may be nothing here, but I can't seem to find anything.
Just for the heck of it, let me try then. A 5. He says, I cannot find anything. Vanessa,
could you see if there's
one other set of eyes. How about you try?
maybe you'll see something we missed.
Let me look around. I'm going to walk up to the crack and roll a 7.
Nope, roll a d6.
I rolled a d10. I'm supposed to be 1. Okay.
Roll a d6.
Let me try that again. Sorry. A 1.
Well, look at that. So you walk up there and you start pressing and you're feeling, and then that big old nose of yours is like, and you sniff, and you sniff, you bend way down, and luckily you've got on the very conservative clothing of a sister of the blend, and though it's a long way to bend because of your tall frame, you can see that there is like a little tiny bit of cloth that looks like it doesn't belong at the base underneath a leaf that apparently everyone else missed. And
I'm going to tug at the corner of it and bring it to Pick's attention. He's up the wall.
When you tug on it, it doesn't want to come out at first. And I need you to roll your open doors.
There's something here, fellas. Is that a D10?
That's a D20, unfortunately. So
okay.
what you're going to do is you're going to treat it like a proficiency check. So whatever that number is, you're going to add that to your D20.
Okay. 15. I give it a yank.
Or did I fuck that up? Hold on. I might have said the wrong way.
I added my number to the D20.
Open doors. Okay, so yeah, that's right. Okay, so you got a total of 15?
Correct.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you're not strong enough. But the way you figured
There's something here, Covidius. There's something here, Tom. I can't get it. Look here.
I
step
attempt
back
to
so
look
they
where
can
he's
check it.
describing and explaining and pointing to see if it helps illuminate anything to my vision.
she points it out, and now you see what you missed.
Oh, how did I miss this? It's right here. Pick, look.
I'll climb down.
I almost tripped over it. I think that's the only reason I found it.
I show it to Pick. I'm like, Pick, you're better with these things. But see it?
Mm-hmm.
Here, I hand it off to you.
Work around with it, see if I can find.
It's somehow connected to like an opening mechanism. You got to pull it, which means you got to roll your open doors. It's going to be on your strength all the way to the right. It should say open doors.
Okay.
You're going to add a D20 to that.
Let me D20. We'll try that one out. Total of 11.
Okay, yeah, no, you're like, you just can't quite, the leverage.
I see him struggling.
Yes.
Here, let me assist you.
Okay, it's too small.
Show me where to put my hand. I'll try to pull it.
I'll hold it up.
It's
Okay.
just a little bitty thing.
Okay. Well, I try to
Both of you
get
pull on
All
it.
right. All right, roll your open doors.
I rolled a 15. I need a 14.
15 plus 14 is 29. You were successful.
Adding. Okay.
All right, so as Covidius kind of bends down, he has got a lot less far to travel when he bends over than Vanessa. You see him strain and then you guys hear like a scrape, and then as he continues to pull, there's another and the thing just barely moves and some dust falls from the top, and then the piece comes out in your hand, but now the crack is wider, and you think that maybe you can reach your fingers in and like pry it open.
I tried that.
And then it's like something gives away, and it opens. And now the doorway is open, but it's dark in there, and it goes directly with a left curve, like it opened up into this tiny area, and then it goes left. So you can't really see past unless you want to.
Well, I know
Walk
where guys
on in.
in there, so I'm walking on in.
Okay.
I know Shedrick's in there somewhere, so I'm going to find Shedrick for him out.
I'm following.
All right. What about you, Vanessa?
I don't think I can fit in there.
You can, but it's going to scrape the top of your ponytail.
All right, I'll scoop over a little bit and I'll move in slowly behind everyone else.
Okay, all right. So, you make an immediate left curve, and as your eyes adjust, those of you with infravision can see. Kettle Tom's like, I can't see anything, it's too dark in here.
Kettle Tom going away outside until we come out. We're just going in to bring
I'll
fabric
do
out.
that, or I'll go back and
Stay with
light a lamp.
Okay. Well, I mean,
Whatever you guys think is best.
Vanessa, can you see in the dark?
I can see.
So can I, and so can Pick. Your lamp may throw our vision off.
All
He's
right,
badly injured.
all right, I'll stay back
He's
there.
very badly injured. I need to get to him.
I will wait by the font,
All right.
and if I hear anything,
I proceed and
all right.
I do not draw my sword.
So, you go in, and it goes about 10, 15 feet before it makes another quick cut to the right. And none of this looks like it's natural now. It looks like it's worked stone, as if someone has dug out this tunnel through the rock at some ancient time. It's not smooth though, it's like the rock is worn, and every so often there's like a divot in the wall. And as you move forward,
Cautiously and slowly.
the air kind of starts to take on a dank, musty smell. Almost like acrid, like the smell of a stink bug that you've stepped on. It's not very pleasant at all. And then it opens up into a much wider cave. Probably like 40 by 40 inside this
Wow.
hill. And with your dark vision, you can see that there are places like ledges built around the edge, about 5 feet high all the way around. And this is a square room with rounded corners and 4 pillars on the inside, each of them 10 foot away from each other in a square in the middle of this 40 by 40 room. The ceiling's about 20 feet tall.
Do the pillars touch the ceiling?
Yes.
Okay. Is there anything in the middle of the pillars, ceiling, or floor?
Not that you can see.
You said it's 20 feet tall?
I did?
Is this
Within our range
room
of
carved
vision.
out perfect?
Huh?
Is this room been carved out perfect?
It may have been perfect at one time, but it looks ancient. Perhaps dusty, and perhaps water that's leaked down through the mountain over time has worn some of the
So we obviously
perfectness away.
don't see shadows on this floor anywhere down here, correct?
Correct.
You must be on. You said there's just one ledge up there.
No, it goes all the way around the room.
Right, but it's just one ledge up there.
Yeah, and it's only 5 foot high.
You mean off the floor?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we don't see him on that ledge either.
Well, no, I can see that, then 5 foot's like here.
Well, I don't see him. I don't see him on the ledge or on the floor. I don't know. Vanessa, do you see him? I don't know where he is. I mean, it appears to be the end of the road, but I don't see his heat signature anywhere. I hope he hasn't passed already.
Well, let me see here if I have a feeling still as to where he might be.
My scope page. Okay.
All right.
The duration of that sympathetic magic spell is 6 rounds. So if we're in that range, I might still feel a direction in which he is, or whether he has passed or is still alive.
Okay, so as where would you guys like to put yourselves in the room whenever you walk in?
Halfway between the door and the pillars.
So you would like to go there.
Well, halfway between.
Well, there's the door and there's the pillars.
I guess move forward to the edge of that line.
To the edge of the line. You
Well,
mean
I
like
just-
that.
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
Okay. Where would you like to be?
I'm going to move in between the pillars on the far side.
Right here? And when you say in between, you mean
Wait a minute.
there
Just lined up kind of in
or
between.
there?
Center,
Okay.
outside, circle.
And how about you, Vanessa?
I'm going to stay behind Covidius in the doorway, and I say, do I need to search for secret doors, or can you else handle it?
were you able to locate him still? Like you said you might be able to?
I was trying to sense I don't know if there's any lingering sensation. If 6 rounds has passed, I don't think it has, but Cobb, do I have any sensation of the direction of Shadrach?
Yeah, he seems to be alive and he seems to be right in front of you.
Well, you see
I feel like he's right here.
I look around again and I'm like, I don't see. I'm going to step forward into the center of those pillars and
Right then, before you move, you stop and you let your senses go out for a second, and you're like, yes, you are being watched.
we're being watched. Something's in here. I look up at the ceiling again. I don't see anything he didn't indicate.
Make a perception check.
I meant with the information.
Make a perception check.
I rolled a 3.
Just looks like a ceiling with pillars going all the way up.
I put my hands up in the air again. I said, "We mean you no harm. We come for our friend Shadrach," and I point in the direction in front of me on the ground somewhere. I don't know where it is yet. And I hold my hands up like this. I move forward slowly so as not to trip over what I'm assuming he might be invisible or something. So I'm kind of like shuffling my feet a little bit, see if I can find him. So I'm moving forward towards the pillars,
Okay. How far would you like to go?
into the pillars, into the center.
Okay.
Or
Right when you get
Sorry.
there,
Run into something.
yeah. Roll the D10.
5.
Okay. You need to save versus paralyzation.
I only need 11.
Okay. Because you are surprised,
Oh, I am?
what normally would have
Holy.
been a successful save is an unsuccessful save because a bright blue flash happens. You are stunned. You drop everything that you're holding.
I'm not holding anything.
Then you drop nothing.
Just my hands were near like this.
Can I see any of this going on?
Yes, it's apparent to everyone that's here. And he disappears.
I do? Oh, I guess not to your... I mean, I don't know what happened. Never mind, I'm stunned. Never mind.
Leaving Vanessa and Pitt.
I'm gonna move forward and peer around a little bit. Can I see anything?
You see what appears to be the same type of ground rock that makes up the rest of this chamber, and the pillars that go to the ceiling.
I think there might be some kind of invisible room inside these pillars.
Oh,
You have to tell me, Kyle, when I'm rolling.
I'll walk forward.
Okay, where would you like to go?
To the center of the room.
Okay, Roll a d10.
Seven.
Okay. Well, you're surprised, even though you saw that happen. The reason you're surprised is because it's an invisible thing. Save versus paralyzation.
Yeah. $17. That's a success.
Okay, what's your, what is a 13?
Success. 9 is what I need.
Okay, so you get up there and just as you're getting ready to step through, you stop. Now my question to you is, do you go ahead and walk through whatever this might be, or do you not?
Hey, Pick,
I
you
walk
go
through.
first.
You disappear. Leaving Pick by himself.
I knew I was right, so I'm going to step forward.
All right. Roll a d10.
10.
Okay, you're not surprised. Save or fail to save on purpose.
I'll fail safe.
All right, you disappear. All right, so
Kill Bob. Guys! Guys! Hello in my life.
the creatures out here. All right, so
Hey, Shadrach's coming up.
at first there's Covidius in a lush swamp, followed by a splash and another splash as Vanessa and Pick appear. And sitting at a table on a little dry hillock in this swamp. It's hot, fetid, and there's mosquitoes flying all over. And the ground is, you sink into it and you realize if you were to remain where you are, you might sink down to where you can't escape. And you see this little
I
hillock
would
that
the dry spot.
rises out of the swamp. And there's this huge snake you see in the background. It looks kind of like the one that crossed your path getting up here to begin with, but it's like 30 foot long and it's slithering away through the swamp. You're thinking, oh shit. But on this hill, it's about, I don't know, 20 foot in diameter. It probably raises 5 foot out of the swampy waters. There's a tree that's growing up out of the swamp, and it's got these long, stringy branches, and it kind of overhangs the hill. But sitting there at a table is this man dressed in these gray, tattered robes. They're fraying at the ends, the hems are coming apart. And laying down on the other side of the hill, on the opposite side of the table, you see Shadrach, who appears to either be dead or unconscious.
I move toward Shadrach.
Is anyone else doing anything?
Ian's still in here, so
Yep.
we mean you no harm. We come for our friend, Shadrach.
So you're going to move.
Straight up the hill. I said, you have our friend Shadrach. Is he okay?
I'm moving as well.
Okay. As you get closer, it becomes apparent that the man in the tattered robes is just a husk and is either dead or not moving. Its eyes are closed. It has long, stringy hair that's poking out of the robe. You can see that his hands are thin, twisted, and gnarled, and the skin's all pulled tight over his bones. And he doesn't seem to acknowledge your presence. He's in a chair, a wooden chair with a small wooden table.
Anything on the table?
Not that you can see. But as Vanessa, you approach Shadrach, what do?
Oh, Heavenly Father, allow your energy to flow and heal this warrior, this man of the woods who has fought so bravely. And here I put my hands on his torso near his heart and the wounds from the ballista, and I do 12 points of healing.
And where does that put your current hit point total, Shadrach?
I'm at +6.
I need you to make a system shock roll. That's percentile, and it's on your Constitution line on your sheet.
All right, give me 1 second to check that. Got all this stuff right here. My Constitution. Well, that's a good one. I got a good system shock. 65. That's easy.
All right. Your eyes, your first thing you do is you hear some movement around you. And as you open your eyes and look around, you're startled to see this Vanessa face looming above you. And she's got this big shit-eating grin on her face.
Well, unless I need to roll, I recognize her immediately.
Okay. And because you made your system shock roll, you are able to, you are up and at him with no, like, penalties. But do you have any lingering serious wounds?
I think that my ankle is badly broken, but beyond that, because my -6 was mostly shock, because I don't think that my leg break was that serious of an issue, but I think shock was what put me at -6.
Okay,
so I think I need to heal my leg. Yeah.
So here
but
is.
I embrace her. I embrace Vanessa. I embrace her.
You're alive, thank goodness. Lie still, friend.
Okay, so
I'll heal you.
Because you had a critical wound, and it was on your feet, the lingering effects, your move is reduced by 4 categories, which probably means you can only move at 1 per round.
I'll fix that.
You use up
Lie still.
4 times the amount of fatigue points for every round, if that was an issue. And you have 80 pounds added to whatever it is that you're currently carrying.
My leg is badly
Your leg is broken.
So
Lie still.
Everybody else all right? The others. I sit up. The others.
They're here.
Where's Reginald?
A prisoner probably on
He's
their
been
ship.
captured.
No!
He's a captive.
Was this the lair of the beast?
I think so.
It is. Lie still. Let me fix your leg.
I lie down.
And I put one hand under his heel as I gently pull to set the bone. And I pray, oh, God, let the power of the blood and the bone, let the limbs and heal the flesh, that wound, and repair the injury that this brave warrior has sustained. And I cast repair injury.
Amazing! Shadrach, as you're watching the color and the shape of your ankle, which has ballooned because it's been like wrapped but not really compressed. And the compound fracture, everything begins to set itself on its own. And as Vanessa works her magic, and the foot starts to look like a normal foot, and the bone that's sticking outside the skin starts to knit and reform, and the skin covers it, and the colors change from purples to back to the pinkish color of normal skin. And so the effects of the broken ankle are removed, and there is a certain amount of hit points that are healed upon the casting of this spell as well, that Vanessa will roll with advantage.
I'm looking it up.
And I think it's a D10. That's what I think. Let's see if I'm right.
I don't remember when I fixed his jaw the last time, or his neck.
Let's see.
Is it 2d4? I thought it was like 2d4 or something.
Repair injury. A D10 plus 1. So Reginald,
All right.
roll a D10 plus 1 twice.
8 points.
Did you roll that with advantage?
Oh, I did not. Another 8, so very good.
Okay. So you gain 8 hit points back, and the condition is removed.
I stand up and feel my leg.
I know,
my leg.
15.
My God.
You're still not very healthy.
The creature must be nearby.
I point to
Well, look at this.
I point to the husk in the robe over
I
there,
have
and I say, it ain't
to-
him.
Anybody who comes near me, I'll embrace them. I embrace everybody.
I go up to him, I give you a hug, and I say, I'm glad you're back with us. I'm sorry you broke your leg. That was my fault.
We're alive. Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. I need air.
Wait,
Hey,
look at this.
where's
we're,
Tom
we're,
at?
we're in some
He's waiting out front.
we're in some strange dimensional layer.
He's gonna wait out front.
How do we get back out
We
front?
stepped through some.
I had terrible dreams.
I have a
terrible
suspicion if we go
dreams.
back to the X amount of feet away from this hill, that we'll step back through some sort of whatever portal this is.
Vanessa, you
Is
go.
King Kong
Hold
alive?
on. Vanessa's turn.
The Shadrach, look at this man in the chair. This was to some portal inside the creature's lair, and it brought us here. Okay, it's I don't know if it's extra dimensional or invisible or what it is, but this space is bigger than what we're actually in. We're in a crack in the rock. Okay. And then we found this guy. He's sitting here by your body. It's a husk. Is this some form of the creature or host? I don't understand. I don't know. I just wanted you to be aware that this is here on the hillside with you. This husk of a man in a chair.
All right,
I look at it more closely at this point.
I will stagger over to this husk. I'll touch it even. And the only thing I can really do is either roll spellcraft or religion. But I think I have an idea of what's going on here. But it's only a vague memory of a story.
Well, when you go over there, and Vanessa, you're like kind of looking at it from a couple feet away, just looking. It looks like I described. It looks like this man, like died in this chair, and just no one ever came along, and he just became desiccated, and somehow in this swamp-like atmosphere, instead of the body decaying and pieces sloughing off because of the humidity, it looks like the humidity was removed, and the body is desiccated, and as you touch it, Shadrach, it kind of just barely, like you hear a crack, and you put your hand off it, and you realize that the thing is very fragile and somehow managed to just stay in this spot as it became less and less, like the mass had been removed until, all of the liquid had been removed. So I'm not sure what the other thing you're talking about, but that's what happens when you touch it. Okay? So would anyone else like to do anything?
I don't know, Vanessa. I've heard stories, but that's all.
I'm just not sure how we're going to get out of here. We stepped through an invisible barrier, but now, we were in the mud over there, and there's not like a cubicle wall around us. We're in a swamp. Is that correct? Or can I see where we walked in?
No, that's
We're
correct.
surrounded by a swamp.
Yeah. And it's like let me see, how do I describe it? It's as if the room from like 20 feet down, not the room, just the area, is like lit, but not like real bright, but as you look up at the sky, it's dark. So it's I don't know, like if you've ever been to like a live theater, but it's, how it's dark above the lights of the show, but it's lit down below, and that's the feeling you get, which is weird because none of you, that's not a thing here. And COVID has his hand up.
I'm going to. I have a theory. I'm going to test it out. I walk back down to where I came in, where I appeared here, and slowly step forward, watching where I step, so I'm thinking that I might be passing through some sort of doorway or something I can't see.
Okay. So you start to walk down into the swampy water. The water really isn't clear, so you don't know what you're stepping into or on.
Right.
You just know that you're starting to sink, and as you continue to walk, it feels like you're sinking lower and lower, and after about 10 feet, you're having to exert quite amount of force to pull your feet up out of the muck to continue forward.
Am I where I was, beyond it?
You're about equal to it.
All right, well, I turn around and start looking for things like a tree branch or something to hold myself up, to try and pull myself out, to make it easier to march out of it, or something to step on, like maybe.
Are you going back to the low hill? Okay. So that's no problem.
So I guess that didn't work.
It's difficult, but you managed to make it back. And now you just kind of got muddy boots or shoes or whatever it is that you're wearing. Okay, somebody else? Yes, Shadrach.
I'm going to call out, Colam! Colam, are you here? And I do shout.
Would you describe the table again? Is there chairs all the way around it?
Well, hold on, we're doing something here. So, you call out for Colam. And it seems like the shout gets swallowed up in the ambient swamp noise and you think for a moment that maybe, and I need those of you with observation to roll those. What'd you get?
36.
28.
All right. You're not sure. You got a 28. Okay. So
That's 1 point from my highest ability, the chance to roll.
So you got a 36, you said? Okay. You notice ever so slightly that the husk of the man sitting there on the chair, like a breeze just happens to blow across the hood that's kind of partially on the top of the head. It's kind of halfway, and a breeze just kind of, and some of the hair flips out. But you don't feel a breeze. And you're like standing on this 20-foot diameter hill, so you're not that far from this guy.
The guy you're calling for is the guy right there.
I know.
He's still alive.
He's been returned. He lives in another body. I know now.
What can we do for him? Maybe he needs our help too.
He may need to be healed, but he is what he is, and I think he accepts that. But I can't speak for him.
I can try to heal him.
I can't do anything but rest.
I will move to the body, the man in the chair, and I will place my hands on his shoulders, and I call upon the blend. Oh, Heavenly Father, renew the life force and
Vanessa,
bring healing to
Vanessa, save versus spells, please. If you have a magical defense adjustment, you would add that to your roll.
I do, and I rolled a natural 20.
All right. Well, I would say explode, but well, go ahead and roll it again anyway. Explode.
18.
All right. So, as you are calling up the power of your mana, the person in the chair starts to jerk erratically. Kick, 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 kick. And from the opposite side of the swamp, you see that huge snake's head kind of peer through the foliage, and in a voice as if it was speaking, because it is actually speaking, it says, "Don't you fall!" And I need actions from everybody because this thing's apparently getting ready to strike. So we'll start with Vanessa. So you have an option, Vanessa. You can continue on with the spell, or you can drop it and pick a different action.
I will continue.
Shadrach, action.
I interrupt her as best I can. I push her hands away. No!
Pick, action.
Okay.
I'm moving and placing myself between the crusty dude and the snake.
And that, well, that's movement. What's your action? Is your action just to move?
Just to move right now.
That's it.
Just to move.
Okay. So you know if the thing strikes at you, you can't strike back at it.
Correct.
Okay. And Cobra.
Cards ready, I guess. If it attacks me, then I attack it.
If it attacks you, you attack it.
Right.
All right. Roll initiative, Shadrach. Beat a 3.
I rolled a 3.
Oh no! We gotta have some combat music, because here we go. Unfortunately, I don't have a 40-foot giant snake, so we'll have to use our
shoestring.
we'll have to use our imagination.
No, Kyle, put it back in your pants.
That didn't work. Fucking YouTube, man, they ruined it. put all fucking ads in this motherfucker. Alright. So, Shadrach, roll a d20. It's gotta happen to you guys. What'd you get?
18.
18. Okay, roll it again.
Supposed to be 60.
11.
Charge the light brigade.
Okay, I need COVID and Pick
One to the right of me.
and Shadrach and Vanessa to all roll d20s.
20.
Alright, explode Shadrach.
17.
So that's 37 plus your dexterity is what?
50.
Okay,
And to
dexterity add.
29.
Dexterity add.
37.
Vanessa,
37.
Vanessa, what'd you get?
I rolled a 1.
Oh no.
Oh no! Okay.
Found
Did
a
you
target.
say charisma checks?
No, I said dexterity. Okay.
Oh boy.
So go ahead and implode.
I rolled a 6
And what does that make? For a
on a
dexterity check.
dexterity. I gotta get 12.
Okay.
Oh boy. Oh, man.
All right.
Oh no.
So, as the snake looks right at Vanessa and begins to strike, your eyes and its eyes meet from the 40 foot away. And just for a second, you're not frightened, but you think your life like flashes in front of your eyes, and you're like, well, I guess this is how I'm going to die. I'm going to get eaten by a snake. And then that exact moment, like as you're casting your spell, your hand slips and it smashes into the chair, and you're like, ow! And your spell is ruined. So that is basically your turn. So you still have movement when your turn comes up. And we go too fast. So, Shadrach, you were the only one that had an action. So, her spell, something happened to her, and she's like, "Dead!" So, do you still attempt an unarmed strike on her?
I am interposed between her, the husk, and the snake. And that's where I'll say that's it.
All right. So you're not going to attempt to.
No, I'm just blocking her from touching the husk. That's all I'm doing.
Okay, well, so if you're going to try to take her square, then you have to do a successful overbear, because she's right next to the guy. So what that means is the first thing you need to do is roll to get in her square. So roll a melee attack.
Well, I mean, I figured since I rolled that good 20, I just stepped in between her and the body, and she's blocked. I'll roll a 20.
Well, you can figure all you want, but you got to do it the way I say.
A D20?
You're rolling to hit using your melee tackle on the left of your
Oh,
sheet.
okay. I get armor class 6.
Vanessa, does that hit you?
Yes.
Okay, now I need both of you to make strength checks.
I rolled a 1. I'm rolling like shit tonight, man.
Vanessa, implode.
16.
What does that give you?
Oh, goodness. 29.
Okay. All right. So, Shadrach, you are able to push her out of the square that she's in, and you take her spot there and putting yourself between her and the husk. And that is the end of your turn, because that's considered movement. And there you go. All right. So then you get to move on fast, and you move over to the side of the hill where the snake is here, and then you, and then everyone else. Okay? And then Vanessa, if you want to move now, you can.
I will move away from the snake.
Well, you can only go like 2 steps backwards, and that would put you further
That's all I'll
away.
take.
Okay.
I'm not wanting to move
I'm gonna go to the
closer
opposite
snake,
side
I
of the
wanna move
island.
further away from it.
He wanted to be between, he said to put the huts between him and the snake.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so Vanessa and Pick are both behind Shadrach. And now the husk is in front, okay? And then anyone else want to move on fast? You want to move?
Yeah.
Okay, where do you want to go?
We'll join him.
Okay. And then we go to average, slow, very slow. Okay. The snake will attempt to bite Vanessa, and Vanessa has cover. With a natural 19 and a bunch of pluses, wham! The snake
Ouch.
bites Vanessa, or should I say the snake swallows Vanessa?
Oh, no, I like to do that first one.
My,
The snake's that
I'm
big.
large.
40 foot. That's bigger than that worm thing those guys are riding.
Okay,
Those swallowed you, remember?
so the snake is now like in the water right in front of you all, raised up as you see Vanessa, her legs kicking doop, 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 before the snake's mouth unhinges and and you see Vanessa,
Like a
the
lump
shape of
going
her going into the snake. And that is the end of its turn. And that is the end of the round because everyone has already gone. And the conditions for your ready are not met. And you've already moved, which means that you can't now move forward and
Right.
attack. So, that is the end of the round.
Well, I could move again, just not. I mean, I just can't attack. Right?
Correct.
So can you give us a diagram?
No, because this is going to go, I was thought about
it's not
drawing,
that
but
big.
we
Oh,
don't need
okay.
it.
All right. Shadrach, what do we do?
I'm advancing forward. I'm gonna talk to the snake if I can.
Should we attack
So
it?
your action is parlay.
Yes.
Okay, pick action.
Drawing my sword and yelling, "Eat me!"
And COVID, what is your action? So yours is parlay, I guess. Okay.
I'm gonna do nothing yet. No, that's not. I'm going to remain ready. I'll draw both swords because I have a shield, and I'll be ready in the same situation.
All right, roll initiative. Pick. Need a 2, 3. All right. Well, still fast goes. So parlay. Shadrach.
I hold my hand up, open, of course. I have nothing in my hands. I say, "Wait, stop! She meant no harm. She meant to help. He doesn't understand. We're here to be friends. We're not here to harm you. She didn't understand. He doesn't know." I'm speaking in Druidic.
Okay.
Sounds like Reginald. Wrong, 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 wrong.
Yeah, basically. Well, it sounds like, I would say it sounds kind of like Latin.
Okay. I would like the snake. Actually, like looks at you, Shadrach, and does this subtle move where it kind of like turns just barely, a very subtle move. It's still looking at the hill, if you will. All of you think it's looking directly at you because of the size of the creature. But do you have no. Do you have any kind of ability that would allow you to interpret an animal's mindset or emotional state?
Only from the languages I speak and animal handling is the only thing I think that would help me. I can't cast any spells. I don't think I speak snake. I might.
I would think it's obvious. Okay.
No, I speak all warm-blooded and stuff, so I'm sorry.
Okay. All right then.
Oh, yeah, that's not warm.
Anyone else want to move at this time?
So, where's the snake at? Is it like right next to us now after it ate Vanessa? Or?
It's about 20 feet away.
I'm fine where I'm at.
Do I have any lingering effect?
And I'm right in front of it, so I'm right there.
I will get back to you, Vanessa, here in a second. Okay? So no one has any movement or anything at this time? All right. So the snake leans down on its turn and it moves right up to Shadrach. And you see it begin to crawl up towards you, and it opens its mouth to where its mouth is taller than you, and it stops right in front of you with its mouth open. I can't hear you.
I get out.
I can't hear you, Shadrach.
Do I see Vanessa's legs?
No. All you see is darkness.
I step in.
It's the way out.
You step in, huh?
Yep.
Oh boy. All right, well. Those of you behind COVID and Pick, you see Shadrach disappear into the mouth of the snake.
Is the mouth still open, or is it like
Still open?
Well, it didn't look like it's like chewing them or anything. It just looked like it. Fuck it, let's do it.
Let's go.
Either way, we're gonna carve them guys out if we. So let's go in while it's open.
Sheathe the sword and run in.
Same thing.
All right.
Yeah. Well, all right. I'll sheathe mine.
Okay.
I keep my hands on them so I can easily draw them.
Well, that ends tonight's session. Oh, no. You all appear beside the font,
Outside. Okay.
and you see Kettle Tom, like, at the edge there, and he's going, hello? Apparently he doesn't know you're
Oh my
there.
goodness.
And then he's like, dirt, dirt! He turns around with his flail, and he's like, oh! Praise the blend! And he walks over and, yep, you're real. What happened?
I'll give him a hug. I hug him.
We found him.
Shadrach, well met. And he hugs you back.
Was Vanessa there? I look around.
Yeah.
We're all there.
I take a chance.
Great to find the door,
Crazy.
Vanessa.
I
That
would
was
never
awesome.
have guessed.
I took a chance, my brothers. I need to go sleep for a couple days. Actually, just for a day.
Let me look at you. I will apply first aid and assess how badly he still is.
I just need to rest. I am beat up though. I am weak. I look all drawn and skinny and dark circles under my eyes and stuff.
Shadrach, you're looking
But my
pretty.
leg-
Shadrach, you're looking pretty hurt. I would think.
Yeah, I look like I just escaped from a prison camp. Yeah. But my leg is
Oh,
healed. My leg
Holy
looks good.
Father above, I begin my casting routine as I put my hands on your shoulders.
I beg
Accept
your
the
pardon?
healing power of the blend and the blessings of the cob, and understand that the blend encompasses anything and everything in the omniscient world of the universe. And I cast Cure Moderate Wounds.
And you may cast it with advantage.
All right, I rolled a 10 and a 9, so you get the 10.
Woo.
Now, is that 10 plus 1, or is it just 10?
Is it plus 1? Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry, 11. My bad. Thank you for reminding me, Kyle.
Shadrach, you gain
Yeah.
11 hit points.
Shadrach looks like he's feeling much better.
All
I'm
right.
glad that I found you and that I found Pick and all of you. I arrived just in time. I'm sorry that your friend was taken captive.
We have to go back.
Maybe,
I'm
do you
not
think
believing that.
Go
we're
ahead.
not ready to attack that fort again, are we?
No.
We can't move him there.
Well, we can leave them there for now until we figure out a plan. And a plan isn't let's go back and get them. I mean, we need more people. As effective
How
as
many
you
people?
were, as effective
Don't
as
think
you
they
were,
could reinforce?
Hold on, Shadrach. Go ahead, COVID.
as effective as you were, we were still beaten, and that means we can't go back and repeat the same thing.
Kettle
You
Tom,
need
Kettle
something
Tom
to change
says,
it.
do we think that, I mean, I'm hesitant to throw this out there, but they lost a lot of people. I mean, it might be time to strike them before they can gain reinforcements. I mean, unless you have friends that you can call upon, I don't see us getting any reinforcements ever.
You're right.
I figured we'd go
I
hire
can-
some mercenaries or something. I'm open to suggestions. I just don't want to go back and repeat it. We may lose more than one of these. I may not be able to get everybody out except one next time. I don't know. I got to deal with them ballistas, obviously.
I mean, I think the main threat, besides their numbers, was their leader, and he's dead. I remember
He's
him
been
being
defeated,
dead.
dead.
So
Do we know that was the leader? I mean, I don't know who the leader is.
I'm pretty sure he was the leader.
When I flew over that fortress in the form of, or saw through the eyes of the crow, that man was the man who was in charge. And he's dead.
Well, there's that priest somewhere that was on that ship, and there has to be a leader of those Akaravans, or one or two officers that are going to be more affordable, more to deal with than the men that we ran against.
I believe that the people in the fortress are now, they may have laughed and joked about blowing their horn, but I think if we went back, not immediately, I understand that. Give me a couple of days to rest, but
When do you
I
think
can
the
wreck
ship
that
is going to
place.
sail?
I can wreck that place.
If Reginald was
see it
here,
now.
I would ask him, how many men does it require to handle that ship at sea? Because we killed a lot of the men on it. I don't know that we killed them all, but we killed a lot of men on that ship, so I don't know how many it requires to sail. It may not be able to sail right now. I don't know.
All I know is that's a big ship. I killed at least half a dozen men on the deck of that ship. And if they have a bunch of slaves and the people that died inside the fort because of my thorns, I don't think they're in very good shape right now. I think that that's just my opinion. I think that I can wreck that place, but I feel I feel that I have to save Reginald one way or the other. I
Well-
can't just leave him here. And I promised him that.
We weren't gonna leave him behind, I'm just saying we need a plan. The last plan failed miserably. No matter how many we killed,
Wow.
we failed.
Our plan didn't fail miserably at all. We succeeded.
The near death of 3 people?
Injury upon them.
The near death of 3 of you, not to mention we don't know exactly what's going on with Reginald. I mean,
And here we stand now.
As well
what
as-
proof do we need of the powers that guide us,
That's-
that give us strength.
proof that I
Tell him,
did everything I could to
tell
get
him
you
that-
out of there before you died. Because if you'd have remained,
I
you'd have
walked
died
out
there.
on my own power,
I can't carry
and
2
only
people
when
out.
we entered the woods was I injured. I fought until the end, and I'll go back and fight again.
I sensed that your friend Reginald is alive. He's extremely wounded, but he is alive. But he's encased in one of those structures, either the fort or the ship. I can tell you all, I've been a slave in my youth, and it is no place to be. If there's any way we can get those people off that ship, I would be willing to try. But I've not been down there. You guys saw firsthand what they were capable of, but I'm willing to help. I can expend all of my mana for the day in healing each of you to try and bring you to a healthy position where you're comfortable to fight. But after that, I don't know how much more healing I can do for you, but beyond that, I can cast protection spells.
This seaside folk.
I can befuddle and confuse the enemy.
Yes, as you saw, if you saw at the fortress, the things that I did were not blasts of power. They were small things that no one can see. It was subtlety. It wasn't a gross expression of power. The grossest expression of power I showed was the watery fist that I helped to kill Pischeldick with. But yet, other than that, there was very little that they saw or even knew that we could do. I can
From
call
the
down
cliff.
lightning on that place, and I want to call down lightning on that place.
From the cliff, I saw the mist rise at the docks, and I heard shouting and commotion.
From that cliff, I can call down lightning on every one of those towers and destroy them.
Well, why don't we go back to the cliff and camp out while we recover, and you can do that to those towers, then we'll go back the next day. Well, how does that sound?
I need to rest for one day.
We can see
all
from
need to
there,
rest.
too, whether that ship sails or not.
True.
Yes, if the ship is either there or it's not, and if it's not there, it can't be far away, and I can find, like you said, Vanessa, once I've rested, I can find where Reginald is. I can find him exactly.
Oh.
Well, the purpose
I
of
can
the
find
fort,
straight to him.
the purpose of the
Yes.
fort, in my understanding, is to supply the slaves that they've collected to the ship, which then departs. So my guess would be if he's enslaved, he's on that ship.
I agree.
Now, I just want to say a couple things. When we do go back to the fort, after you do your thing to the towers, we have to remember that there's at least 2 other gates that they can come out of. If we try the same actions, they may be prepared for it in some way. Don't forget, there is a priest. They may have him work against us if we were to come back. I don't think they'll expect us back anytime soon. That'll be in our favor. But just remember, they may be prepared for whatever we try to do that they've encountered before. We've got 2 other gates we got to deal with. In addition to that, like I said, we need to take those towers out ahead of time because they, in my opinion, they turned the tide of the battle against us because they downed Pick and they pretty much almost wasted you. And I mean, you did an awesome job out there. I'm not trying to deflate that any, but
I agree with you entirely. The towers were our biggest danger.
Yeah, that's. I mean, they hit me as well, and I am I am hurt. I am not like you guys, but I am close to equivalently hurt. I just have more to hurt, I guess you'd say.
I would just say this. I think if we had been, this is perhaps foolish on my part, but I think if we had been even more aggressive, we would have been much more successful. I don't think that they were even prepared for the level of aggression that we showed them. I think if we return with that same level of aggression, they're going to get the point that they don't live in a safe place.
Pause. Vanessa, roll me a D12.
4.
Oh, you've been rolling ones all night, motherfucker. Now you don't?
Ah.
All right.
You said a D20, then you covered you.
Continue, Shadrach or Vanessa. One of you guys was going to say something.
I think we should evacuate the people and burn that fort to the ground.
I think, I agree. My plan, at least for now, is that I need to get to a high point. I need to, if we can get some stormy, cloudy weather, then I can deal with this. I might have to summon some up, but that will take some of my power to do so.
Shadrach,
But
how close do you need to be to cast any of these spells on this fort? A cliff's quite a distance. Just want to make sure we don't want to shoot ourselves in the foot.
Let me contemplate this for a moment because I do have an answer.
Kettle Tom says, Pick, you've been silent. Is there anything you'd like to say?
Does everybody realize there's probably 50, 60, maybe 70 slavers on that ship? Plus the priests on that ship?
Not anymore.
that's a lot.
I don't know how many are on the ship. We pretty much killed all of them that we come across. I know there were some in the room in the forward hold area, and I know that I'm pretty sure that was one of the guys that lead them. But he was locked in a room and wouldn't unlock the room. Beyond that, I mean, we fought everything else that came up the deck and killed it. The guys we ran into outside, which you didn't see, Peck, they were not men of the ship. They were, I guess, the pirates.
By the time we get back there, that ship might have set sail.
Well, that's my whole point
Okay.
earlier. I don't know how many it takes to sail a ship, and those aren't slavers. Those are shipmen. Those people work the ship.
I can be within 360 yards of the fortress to cast a spell.
And I don't know what the distance from that cliff is down there, but if it's too far for you, I guess you can always turn to a bird or something and fly down there, right?
Well, one way or the other, I'm going to burn this place down.
Right, but if we're on the cliff, I'm just saying, what's the point of going back to the cliff if it's too far? I don't know what the distance is.
Well, I'm probably the most uncouth of everyone here. Do we realize, and have we thought about it, that there are probably innocent people inside that castle?
He's going to bring it down. He's going to bring it down on the turrets, the ballista force.
Okay, well, we just can't be burning it down with innocent people inside there. There may be
We
slaves
need to
inside.
evacuate the people and then burn it to the ground so they can't come back there.
No,
Yes, I'm sorry I didn't elaborate on that. I don't mean to kill innocent people, Pick, but when we're done here, this place will be a pile of ashes.
I don't think the destruction of the ballista towers will. I mean, if there is a fire as a result of his lightning, I don't think it'll take a long time to burn the place down. If that's the start of the fire, but we need the ballistas gone.
When I flew over the fortress and looked within, there was only a handful of what I would imagine, consider inferior slaves left behind. All the healthy slaves were on the boat. They may have transferred them back to the fortress. I may have to go look again. Things may have changed, but I'm willing to do that. That's not a problem.
Are we making our way back to the cliff then? Is that what we decided?
Well,
I think that's a good idea.
Well, I mean, it depends. Is the cliff going to be too far for you to do your spells on the towers?
No.
I'll know when I get there. Bob can only tell me, is the cliff further than 360 yards from the...
I remember him saying it was about 300.
So I may be able to strike the towers at the closest edge.
The cliff is 130 feet up, and then it's another like 600 feet through the forest to the fort.
Well, I can go
What's
360 yards, so
200
that's
200 yards.
almost 1,000 feet. So
That's at the edge of range.
I can get the edge. I can get the two towers at the edge. Now I'm striking them with lightning, so I'm not. The place isn't going to burst into flames like a napalm strike.
Well,
But I'm pretty sure I can destroy those two towers with lightning.
from the edge,
I can
from
cast
the edge
a
of
spell.
Hold on. Go ahead, COVID.
from the edge of the fort, it'd be approximately another 60 feet to the first turret, the closest.
Well, at that range,
And
you
then
can
we've
come
got
it off.
another 40 feet to the other two, and then another 60 to the fourth one. I mean, it sounds like it might cover all of it.
I can get about 1,000 feet.
Well, if that's the case, you can cover all four of them.
Yeah. You said
Well, if that's the
300.
case,
You
then
said
all four of them
360
can get
yards.
affected
So
lightning.
I mean, yeah. I mean, hell, if you only took out 3 of them, that would be a major improvement.
Yeah, I mean, if I took out 2 of them, we've been having an entire side of the fortress.
Well, you
I
can
mean,
go up there and
you
you go up there and blow them off with your little gust of fart wind or whatever you do. That seems to be pretty handy.
Yes.
We will need
Chopping heads
A
off, light
storm.
club, very effective.
in order to call lightning.
I need at least cloudy weather.
You know, the storm would also prevent the ship from leaving if it has enough crew to leave.
If I can get on board that ship, I can sink it. And that's an easy one. I'll just put a hole in the bottom of it and it will sink.
Well,
I guarantee.
when do we get the
I'll
fuel
drop a
off?
hole
It's
in the
kind of
bottom
deep
it,
there.
it'll sink.
It's kind of deep
I can
there.
sink that boat.
Well, let me steer the ship out of port. I can sink it too. I can't drive a boat.
I can't swim. Like the rest of you, I can't swim, Pick.
Me either.
I sink very well.
I mean, if I put my mind to it, I can breathe water, but I can't swim. I have to be ready.
Hell,
So we're moving
you could just
Just
walk
to
the
be
wood or
clear,
something
we're
around the
moving.
ship, and that would be
Yeah,
fun.
as we
Get
talk.
to a secure place so we can rest. I need to rest for a day. I need to rest for like 4 hours minimum.
Well,
Where are you going?
back to our little campsite we had at the cliff, on the cliff last time. So we're going back the way we came along the wall of the cliff till it comes down, meets the ground, then we go up. Same way we did. We go back to that vantage point we had, and then we hang out there for at least a day.
I
Okay.
say we keep extra vigilant in case they try to come after us with dogs or something.
I need
I remember dogs being destroyed. at some
Shadrach to
point.
roll a d12.
If they're that low in number, I wouldn't go chasing anybody. I'd hold up for it.
A 2? Okay. So the sun is on its way down. It's past dinner time. By the time you reach the top of the cliff. And those of you that have not partaken of a good berry lately, you're hungry. And those of you that have partaken of a good berry are still under the effects of said magical item.
Would that still be in effect if you took one this morning?
I'm
Yeah,
out of
because it lasts
good
all day.
Okay.
Is it like a 24-hour thing?
I think so.
I will collect some berries on the walk, and I will cast that when we get to camp.
You have herbalism, right?
I do.
Okay, I need you to roll that to see if you've just happened to find some berries on the way.
21.
You do.
Hooray.
And how many berries do you get?
What is it, a D10 or 2D4?
No, you just tell me. Do you get like a sack full, or do you cram a bunch in your...
Yeah, I'll collect as many as I can find.
Well, with the 21, you find you find a small pouch worth.
Okay, good deal.
All right. So apparently, by the time you make it up to the top and you look around, you can see some activity at the fort. You can see the ship is still there. You can see that they have tripled the guards along the docks, and now they have people patrolling outside of the walls. And you can see that they have not only the guys up there manning the ballistas, but there are also several more keeping a guard from the roof that of this before of the first the roof of the first floor, basically the ground floor. I mean, if it doesn't make sense, if you can see the map I drew, there's this wall, which is the first floor of the fort, and then this central portion here goes up another 10 to 15 feet, and these corner areas go up an additional 10 feet so they can fire off and down. So, and up here is where the flag is of the Acarimans, and it is still flying. So they used to not have any guards here, but now they do.
How dare they protect their interests?
Yes, how dare they show a tiny bit of grains.
Is there any evidence that they're disposing of their dead?
When you start looking specifically, yes, they are taking them and they're just throwing the bodies into the ocean.
How many does it look like they're throwing in, if I can get a wild guess?
You also see that they have gathered, they're tying rocks around the bodies so they'll sink. So by the time you're up there and looking, I mean, they've still got probably 10 more to toss in. And who knows how many they've already disposed of before you guys made it up there. You would think all of them. Obviously, if you weren't keeping track of how many you killed, that's, then you don't have any idea, but there was a lot.
Yeah, I didn't really keep track, but I figured there was at least 20.
So, I'm trying to think if there's any other activity that...
Any dogs on patrol these gardens?
No, they don't seem to have dogs here. I mean, you heard dogs, but you don't see any. Well, you heard dogs when you were down there, but you don't see any from up there, or you didn't see any at the assault. I mean, actually you did, but the dogs weren't willing to run into the fucking spikes. Apparently they were smarter than the people.
Oh, one of them did.
And... yeah, I think that's it. And you notice that there's a contingent of Acarimans that are patrolling the ship now, that they seem a lot more on guard, if you will. It's almost like somebody came in the middle of the night and attacked, and now they're like getting ready for something. I don't know who would do that, but they've certainly...
Wake up.
Yeah. So...
was there no kind of special death for Pickle Dick? They didn't like burn him on a fire or nothing? Nothing like that?
They used extra rocks.
Bigger rocks.
And from this distance, there's no way to know like who would be in charge. So, oh, and the other thing you notice is that all of the cages are empty that are in the back of the fort.
Reginald's probably on the ship.
I need to do another flyover and take my chances.
So,
Why? You can see it from here.
You said you guys, were you making camp up here, or
Yeah.
were you going to camp close to the edge, or were you going to go anywhere? How far away from the edge would you like to be? The forest kind of goes right up to the edge, so theoretically you could go anywhere and get partial cover
let's
from the
make
trees.
ourselves completely visible.
So,
Well, we
Still
last time we
keep an eye on
set
the
back
fort.
a ways. Like 20
Well,
feet.
you guys haven't camped up at the top ever.
Oh, no, we just hung out there for a while.
Correct.
Oh, we were for quite some
Your
time.
camp was way back in the trail
All right,
even
well,
before
we'll do
you
it at
got.
least 20 feet from the edge, so we can't even see the fort from.
Okay, if that's where you want to be,
I
then
don't-
that's where you'll set up.
I don't think they're gonna come looking for us because of cold air.
What's the maximum distance on a bow? Like,
But they're gonna keep controls very close to the fortress.
Should
I
say.
think that we can get close enough, as close as we want to, is my opinion, but they're gonna have, next
150
time they're
yards.
gonna dump on as many people as they can. So, we have to change our tactic.
Because
They're
ranges
expecting
are
A, now we're
given
gonna give them
in
B.
squares that are square, like 30 square yards, or 5 foot square.
So 30
5
is,
square yards is your missile range. That's what's on your sheet. So it's different than,
right, that's why I never remember. Okay.
so you're just basically taking those times 3.
I was just hoping this might have been just a fountain. I get them all eventually.
Okay, so do you guys go ahead and set up camp now, or do you
Yes.
do anything before?
I stay set up camp. My guy's tired.
Yes, okay.
I
Go
didn't
ahead.
sleep the night before and I'm injured.
I really need to rest to do anything
Okay,
worthwhile.
so while the 3 gentlemen are setting up their, whatever they want to do for their campsite, what are you doing, Vanessa?
When we get up to the cliff, I take the berries that I gathered. I cast good berry. I've rolled. I got 8 berries, and I will go to each person and apply first aid and give them a good berry. And I want to know if individuals are still hurting, I can cast spells to help their healing before the night is over. I can do quite a bit still. So each person, I'll go to Covidius first. And I say, here, eat this good berry, and it'll fill your belly, and I let me tend your wounds.
I take the good berry and I put it in a pouch. I said, I'm still all right, but I'll be hungry first thing in the morning.
Now, just for flavor's sake, these berries that you found, these are like blueberries. So he get
Nice.
and just to add flavor to it, instead of him handing you like one little tiny blueberry, he gives you like 4, but that's considered one.
I got you.
So
You can see that no one's tended to my wounds yet. I'm obviously not bleeding out. I said I am injured, but come back to me last.
No, I'm on you first. Accept the favors of the blend, and I put my hands on his arm where the blade had struck him, and I pray to the blend, bring forth the healing powers of the blend and heal his wounds. I cast Cure Light.
all right, hold on a second. So hold on. You said that you were gonna tend him, right? So the first thing you do is when you do your healing check and no roll is required, you see where he's injured. So
Just ballista.
you can tell him where, if you'd like.
Remember everywhere.
I mean, yeah, you can just make up something. It
I'm
doesn't
more.
matter. Like, does he find bruises under your arm?
Yeah,
when
I'm
you
more
take it off?
heavily bruised. My damage, I guess, is in the form of heavily bruised or smashed up against my armor, my skin up against my armor from. I tell you, the only thing that damaged me was I was hit with multiple ballistas. I said that's what did the damage to me. And I kind of point to where I'm real tender and sore, and my movement
I
is slightly.
slide my hand inside your armor, just under your arm, into where you pointed, and I call upon the blend to heal you.
And you're casting what?
Cure Light,
All right. Roll your
and I believe
healing magic.
that is a D.
That is
8.
a D8. Yes, sir.
Hope for an
6 points.
Not bad.
Not bad. I feel much Wow. I feel better.
That's good, but I see another spot. I see another spot over here.
Oh yeah, there's a couple more.
I cast Cure Light Wounds again. For 2 points.
I saw his dice flip up in the screen, and I was like, oh, nope.
Yeah, that one still hurts.
Okay, let me tend to everyone else, and we'll see what goes on.
Sure. I'll be around tomorrow.
Go ahead, Daryl.
So I do the same thing to everyone, Cobb.
Okay, who are you going to first?
Pick was badly hurt. Let's see how he's doing.
Fuck everybody. It was.
Okay, so
I used my healing proficiency to assess his condition.
and he's got several places on him that looks like he's been suffered for some breakage of the skin and a nice bruise on the side of his neck.
Holy Father, heal his wounds. Oh boy, 2 points on the cure moderate. Of course, I gotta roll bad for that one.
It's +1, don't forget.
Yes, I did that.
Okay.
And I'm gonna cast Cure Light for 6 points.
So we got the same one. So we got a moderate.
Okay, anything else?
How you doing there, Pick? You feeling better?
I'm feeling a lot better, I'm just not,
Oh, I see a spot. I see a spot right there on your lower back.
You
that,
say,
could use some
it
attention.
hurts when I do this, and Vanessa's like, don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that. Here, let me touch it with the
hurts
magical
you.
blend,
I'm just one
and you
ballista.
gain 3 more hit points from a Cure Light.
I'm just one ballista shot away from death.
Alright, I will then go to Shadrach, who was on the edge of death's door. I know I tended your wounds earlier, but how are you feeling now?
I'll gobble the good berries. Oh, I'm hungry. I was so hungry. Oh. Oh, tend the others. I'll be all right. I just need to rest.
Now, just sit still. I perform a healing proficiency check to see how badly injured he is.
Does he find any bruising, breakage, skin punctures, or anything else upon your person, Shadrach?
I can tell him that he probably sees that I'm about halfway. Most of my major injuries I think have been healed, but I'm very exhausted and, like I said, I think it's more shock and exhaustion that's my problem right now.
I will cast Cure Moderate Wounds, the last second level spell I can cast today, for 8 points.
I feel much better. Thank you.
You're welcome, friend. That's why I came. And then I will go to Kettle Tom and offer him some good berry and healing.
He accepts the good berry, and he says, the large one, their leader, he slashed me while I was down, and I fear that wound is still deep and will linger.
Well, hold still, brother, and I will lay hands upon him and cast Cure Light Wounds twice. To give him a total of 12 hit points gained.
Thank you, sister.
You are so welcome. I'm glad I made it here when I did.
I still have the ability to lay on hands for this day. Vanessa, who out of these remaining 3, in your opinion, needs our
I think,
blend's blessing the most?
I think that Pick was in pretty bad shape. Shadrach was in very bad shape, but he appears to be healing well.
I do not have the bedside manner that you have, so I will pick. Do you accept the blessings of the blend?
Always.
And he walks forward and he puts his hand on your shoulder and he smiles. And he just kind of cricks his head a little bit. And you feel a warmth start to flow into your shoulder and over the rest of your body. And how many hit points are you down?
9.
You are at full.
Thank you.
He says,
I need to rest.
I'm going to make my favorite. He says, although COVID, is there any chance you could go out and bring back a small creature?
I will try.
A rabbit?
Sure, if they're out there, I should be able to.
Nothing too large. I don't want to waste it.
I start taking my armor off.
Shadrach, I hope you don't mind that I would like to take one of the woodland creatures and consume it and have it nourish us.
I have no objection.
Very good. And I guess COVID, whenever you find something, come back and I will have the kettle warmed up. He proceeds to create his camp and set up his kettle and fire and everything. You go hunting?
Shadrach will
Roll
gather
a
a
hunting
pile
check.
of green leaves and twigs and sleep underneath it.
Fifth.
15?
I mean,
What?
I rolled low.
So your total was 15. Okay, all right. Well, you spend a couple hours and then you come back and you're like,
Oh, so that's it? I was going to stay out there. But I mean, I don't. Wow. Okay. I thought you were more one roll in 2 hours. I can't. I come back and I couldn't see anything. I mean, we must have scared everything up here off. Perhaps if Shadrach could convince something to come close and hold still.
Kettle Tom's like, no, no.
It was a joke.
No,
Sorry.
don't do that.
Just a joke.
We have to give them a fair chance, otherwise it's blasphemous, according to what I understand.
It's still. What time of the day is it?
It's about 5. The sun's setting.
Let me go out and look again. Yeah, hold your fire. I'll spend another hour out and see if I come across it. And I go over there, away from us, further up the cliff line. Where I know it can't run that way because of the edge of the cliff, so it's got to be somewhere in this vicinity.
Unless you're hunting lemons.
Yeah, I love it. At least I know where they'll be.
Okay. Yeah. You go out and same thing happens.
Come back and say, I seen, even though we keep hearing all these sounds, I don't see a thing.
No, you've seen things. You just failed.
Oh, I can't.
That's all.
Try again
That's all it
another
is.
day.
Well,
I don't know how it works.
Yeah, I mean,
I
we
know
can,
that
we
I
can
do.
make a bunch of rolls and eventually
that's
you'll
fine.
succeed, but that's not
Okay.
the way I do it.
I didn't see any shots that would catch an animal today.
Kettle
I'm
Tom
sorry.
says, "There's no need to explain. We can
No.
you can still have what I have. I'm not totally out. Come on, everybody, it's done. Grab a bowl, and I'll pour you some." And
Ooh,
he's created
yummy.
he's created this stew in the kettle, and it's got, little tiny bits of leftover meat that he carries because he's a traveler. And you all have it, and you're like, hey, it's pretty good. And then it's nighttime.
It's warm.
And if any of you wish to keep watch or not, that's up to you, or you can just get a good night's sleep up on the hill. And,
Yeah, I'll take first watch.
okay, COVID will take first watch. Anybody else?
Yeah, Shaq went to bed as soon as the sun went down.
Dick, you're going to take second. Okay. Anybody else?
We can do 2 long watches if you want.
You too long.
Kettle Tom's like, I'll take the third. That's fine.
Will that be all right with you? And you doing your laying on hand thing? I don't know
Yes,
how it works with you.
I'm not an issue.
Let me ask you this: what do you prefer, first, second, or third?
What do I prefer? Oh, no one's ever asked me that. I actually prefer third because I tend to eat a lot of my own cooking, and I like to sleep on a full stomach.
There you go. You got third anyway, so there you go. You're perfect.
There you go. All right, so roll a d12, please. This will be our last roll of the night, unless he rolls a 1. Up, a 5. All right. And that is a good place to stop. It's almost 9 o'clock. And apparently the dice say that no wandering monsters comes along, which is a bummer because I really want, I mean, everything's great. And
I'm glad that we found everybody and the lives have been saved.
for now,
We've not found everybody yet.
Hey,
He meant everybody that was important.
We know where he is.
We think.
Right.
He's
When Shad
in that direction.
sleeping or praying, he's sitting at the edge of the cliff watching the fort.
The push
well, we'll get to
Figuring
the
out
morning
where
next
the
week.
lightning's gonna go.
So, all right. Good night. Thank you for playing. Thank you for watching. And roll them 20s.
Hey, you guys don't remember, we only have next week, then Cobb's gone for the rest of the month.
Yep.
Very
Vacation. Where you going, Cobb?
Oh, we're West Virginia and Albuquerque and maybe some points in between. So,
Wow, that's a long stretch.
well, that Tesla's going to get its workout because I have 1,000 free miles of supercharging until December. So I'm going to use it all right now.
Hey.
I wanted to ask you that, when you go somewhere
Hey,
next
how about
week.
instead of West Virginia, go to the Shenandoah in Virginia? It's beautiful.
I'll take that under advisement.
It's right next door to West Virginia, so it's not that far away.
All right. Good night. No hurricanes.
Bye, guys.
Peace.
So when you go to charge somewhere, like, for instance, South County Mall's got a whole row of chargers.
And I haven't had to do
I was
that
gonna say,
yet.
do you
but
have to pay for that? I have no idea. Is that
I will
charge?
eventually, yeah.
No, I mean,
Is there
for
a fee
anybody
when
else,
you go
is there a
there?
fee to go, is that how you use those?
It's by the kilowatt, just like you pay your electric bill.
Oh, okay. Is it as expensive as it?
It's different for different charging networks or states, because every state might have a different utility.
So let's say you had to spend the night
Good
somewhere.
night, internet.
So let's say you spend the night somewhere and you charge your car. I mean, how many kilowatts are you gonna charge? I mean, if you're gonna be on the road, you're gonna probably be charging all
Obviously, it
night.
depends on how much it would take to fill the
Well, how many kilowatts?
battery.
How many kilowatts does it take to fill your car from empty?
75.
How long does it take?